Shit and paper on display. I haters old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. I am your host, Scott. You know to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BarberChairScott. You know to follow the Barberchair Network at BarberChairNet on Twitter and Instagram. Subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/BarberChair Network. Man, there will be a new episode of Summer Sessions on your Patreon feeds tomorrow. We got a lot to talk about. I want to talk about my trip in DC, which we'll get into a little bit on today's episode of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. For sure, we're going to get into that. And then tomorrow on there, we're going to talk a little bit about the Drake album. We're going to talk about how this nigga Pavi is known everywhere, including DC. So he will talk about that on the show tomorrow, man. But just in about 5 minutes, I will be joined by J.R. Bang and the homie Mariano. Of course, if y'all watch anything on this great network, y'all know about Mari, man, co-host of the Shot Clock Show, man. He's going to be doing a lot of stuff for us this NBA season, man. But no Dante today. Dante is covering on site, on field for us for not just MLBBro.com, but also the Barbershop Network. He will be covering game 2 of the NLDS between the Atlanta Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies, which should be coming on in about an hour. So he will be doing that. Courtney can't join us today. She got some other obligations to take care of. And Mikey is in Florida, and his power got knocked out, which is even more evidence that you should not move to fucking Florida. So Mikey won't be joining us this week, but Mikey will be back. The whole crew will be back on Friday. We got a special guest on Friday, too. So look forward to that, man. So I'm going to start this off with my sound off, since we're not really going to talk too much baseball today because of our main baseball guys are not here today. I just want to give a couple of my thoughts on the first week of play. First thing I got to say is, man, we need to stop bitching about bye weeks for these 100-win teams. That type of stuff has got to stop. I'm really sick and tired of the complaining, like, oh, well, they had the time off, so they really don't need to, they get excuses for losing and stuff like that. No, you got the time off, bro. It's not these other teams' fault that you haven't been doing anything during that time to stay, in a rhythm of things like that. You were able to set up your rotation, which is the advantage of winning 100 games, during the season. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people have been trying to give passes to, because the Orioles were one of the highest scoring teams in the league. And now it's hard for them to play that way, even though they had a very high scoring game too. Or if you look more specifically at what happened with the Atlanta Braves, they haven't looked that offensively inept all damn season. The Dodgers are a team that, that's just how these niggas get down every offseason. So I just kind of feel like enough of the complaining about bye weeks and things like that. Just play better. It's just that damn simple. Play better. And as far as what we see on the field, what I've seen from this postseason just one weekend is what I've always said. There's a whole bunch of unpredictable shit. The first round, I know a lot of people don't like the wild card round. They'd rather see the wild card game. I have no problem with the wild card game. I thought the wild card game was fun. But I also feel like if you play 162 games, you deserve more than one chance to advance to the next round. So I have no problem with the wild card round. All these series were in sweeps, didn't go anything past further than 2 games. But the main thing that stood out for me is the different matchups, the infusion of young talent we're getting from Baltimore. Even though Baltimore is down 0-2 to the Texas Rangers, you see this is a team that's on the rise. It's a team that only won 70-something games last year, and now they've won 100, and they're hosting the playoff series. It's good to see some of this young talent in the playoffs. But the biggest thing that's standing out to me is the Atlanta Braves getting the matchup that they did not want to get, and that is the Philadelphia Phillies. The Philadelphia Phillies are the defending National League champions. They lost to the Houston Astros in 6 games in the World Series last year, and they took care of the Atlanta Braves last year, too. And this is a team where I'm pretty sure the Braves coming off that little break, they did not want to see, especially with the pitching, the offense, and just the team that know they can beat them and punch them in the fucking mouth. And that's exactly what we saw in game 1. And now it's full-on panic time at Truist Park already in game 2. And I just got to give credit to Bryce Harper. I myself was a known Bryce Harper hater, and not for no particular reason. No particular reason why I actually hated Bryce Harper. I was just hating. And then I think that really a lot of it was out of anger because the White Sox didn't sign him 4 years ago. But this dude is a straight up star. He's a playoff performer. He's damn near the baseball LeBron as far as all the hype he had coming into this league 13, 14 years ago. And honestly, he surpassed it. I know it hurt him a lot when he left Washington and they won the World Series the year after he left. But the way he's been a force for this Philadelphia Phillies team, lead them to the World Series last year. And it's the things he's done in the playoffs, in the first round series against the Marlins, in the first game against the Braves. He is the playoff performer. And I really feel like this team has no fear. They know what it takes now to get to the World Series. And I feel like this is a game right now Atlanta has to win. And honestly, I feel Atlanta has to win convincingly today, because if not, then you're really saying, oh, we barely beat these dudes, and now we got to go to Philadelphia for 2 games. So that's the thing that's really stood out to me. And as far as the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Dodgers are something that, to me, the Dodgers, this is what they do. As far as in the 10 years I've been in Los Angeles, this is just what these motherfuckers do. Clayton Kershaw, as great as he is in the regular season, this dude stinks come playoff time. I feel like Dave Roberts left them in there because of respect. As soon as it got 3-0, you should have yanked them. Now, the Dodgers are in a fucked up position more than usual because they have no pitching right now. Walker Buehler is going to be out. He's been out for a long period of time. He's going to miss the rest of the season. You got Julio Urias, who likes to beat up women more than he actually likes to play, and that's some type of stuff that you can't, tolerate. And he's not going to be pitching. So they really down to they had no choice but to go with Clayton Kershaw. But once you get down 3 runs, you got to yank him. Fuck what he does in the regular season. Fuck how many Cy Youngs he's got. You got to pull that dude, man. So it's danger zone for both of those teams. And I'm really interested to see how that's going to play out, man. And much respect to the Arizona Diamondbacks, man. They've been coming into this with absolutely no fear whatsoever, punching the Dodgers in the mouth. And I don't think they're going to back down tonight in Game 2 in Dodger Stadium either. And I know we was here last week. Courtney was very worried about her Texas Rangers. The Texas Rangers. And by the way, I said last week, shout out to Jake Mintz, who joined us for our playoff preview last week, and I told them, yeah, the Rangers been playing bad coming to the playoffs, but all it takes is just a little bit of a nudge to get into the postseason and get rolling. That's exactly what they've been doing, is they are undefeated in postseason so far. So very entertaining first week of the MLB playoffs, man, and I've been entertained by it, man. So that concludes my sound off. That concludes what I wanted to talk about as far as the MLB playoffs, because we'll have more in-depth conversation on that on Friday when Courtney and Dante and Mikey are back, man. But let's get into bring my guys on, man. Time to bring in the rest of the squad, man. We gonna bring in Mariano and we gonna bring in the homie JR Bang. What's going on, brothers?
Man, we here, man. We here. Black than a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Hey. That's all you can ask for, baby.
Bang, what's going on, bro?
Can't deny that. It's on there.
Hey. Yeah. That's what we came to do.
Feel good. Mm-hmm. It's Victory Monday. Even though it was Victory
Monday.
Friday, so
it don't matter. We ain't had a win in damn near a calendar year. This can be Victory Week for all like
dead ass. So you know what I'm saying? With a very winnable game coming up. So we'll see what happens.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Orlando Ortiz said the wave god is back, talking about Mariano.
Yeah. What's up, man? You see the waves resting right now. You know what I'm saying? I just watched them, you know what I mean? Oiled them up and all them up. I'm down here in Atlanta, so I gotta talk like the common folk down here. All them up. You know what I mean? So yeah, we back.
Oh man. Let's get into our catch up, man. How's everybody weekend went? Very busy weekends, very busy sports weekend, man. I feel like everything was on TV, of course, NFL, college football, baseball playoffs. How was y'all weekend?
Man, you go ahead and start off, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, my weekend was pretty good, man. Listen, any weekend that involves me getting multiple naps, chicken at any point, and I'm able to just like, you know what I mean, just chill, like overall, just I'm good, you know what I mean? So I was chilling, man. The Giants lost, but they can't bother me anymore, so I'm good with that.
Hey, man, any weekend that involves naps and chicken is the greatest weekend in the history of weekends.
Every time.
Like naps and chicken, no, you can't beat you can't beat that with a stick.
Yeah.
Like, especially you in Atlanta, so what kind of chicken?
Wings. Every single time I'm
talking about from where?
Well, it depends. There's a place by my crib called I Love Wings, ironically. Ill Wings. Then it's another spot over here, Touchdown Wings. Obviously, you got the classic. You got American Deli. You know what I'm saying? If you want to, I'm not driving downtown and all that for all them type of spots like during like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I'm doing all local.
That's what called Midtown. That's what
I'm not doing.
Midtown.
Yeah, that's gonna take you 50 minutes to get there, 100 minutes to get back. I'm cool.
It really
you know
is.
What I'm saying? Any of that. So yeah, man. Like I'm doing all the local spots. That's like right over here, 10, 15 minutes away.
Man, when I stayed in Atlanta, we stayed in what's now Sandy Springs, and it was this bar right down the street from the crib. I can't remember the name of the place, but we was like Cheers in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? And they had some fire-ass buffalo wings, Jack.
You can find, I'm telling you, at most random spots that you're going to pull up, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to just get good wings. Like, this is just whatever flavor wing you like, you can pull up at any spot down here. That's the thing I love about being in Atlanta, dog. Like, any local spot is bound to be your favorite chicken spot at any given moment. So, what else can I ask for? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but my weekend was decent. You know what I'm saying? I got to do nothing. And considering how the last 2.5, 3 weeks, I was actually just in Atlanta for some radio meetings and stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing about that story on Summer Sessions tomorrow.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? It was.
We add that to the rundown now.
You gotta add that to the rundown.
Yeah.
Watching redacted movies because I signed an NDA. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But no, hey man. I'm happy to be here.
The highlight of that weekend is getting to do nothing because that's important. As we get older and busier and shit like that, doing nothing is very key. So, hats off to you, my brother. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I was able to do nothing this weekend too, which I enjoy. I haven't been able to do nothing for a weekend and for like 2 months now. So it was good to just chill. I was telling Mariano before we got on here about like my jet lag. I hit 3 different time zones in like 48 hours. Like so, Wednesday, it was like hectic. Tuesday, I was at Hallis Hall. Because they moved up the schedule because it was a Thursday night football game. Wednesday, I had my flight to DC. So that's Central Time to Eastern Time. So I got to DC probably around 7:30, some shit like that. And like my flight got delayed. For like 30, 40 minutes because of some paperwork. Like some paperwork.
In DC?
No, in Chicago, going to DC. Well, actually, both flights got delayed, but the other one,
you was in Dulles. That's the worst airport ever,
nigga.
Ever, nigga.
I'll get into a little bit of that today. I'll get into tomorrow. I'm explaining the whole story. I actually got into it with a nigga on the plane, and I was very close to getting put on a no-fly list. Like, so,
this is the most Scott shit ever, bro.
Yeah, and I had a very Curb Your Enthusiasm day when I came back. Because when I landed in LA too, and I'll tell this story on here too, but so when I landed in LA, so there's this LA exit lot. For anybody who's flown into Los Angeles the last 3 or 4 years, you know what I'm saying? You've noticed that there is a lot because because of the taxis and shit, they don't allow you to pick you up from the airport, from a departures arrivals, and which is funny because there's way more taxis in New York, and you can get a ride when you get dropped off. You know, okay, I'm confused myself. Which when you get dropped, is that departures or arrivals? I'm throwing myself off. Like when you land personally.
Yeah, that's the arrivals.
Yeah, that's arrivals.
Okay, I always throw myself off. When you dropping something off departures, all right, so arrivals. So when you get in arrivals, like in New York, you can still get an Uber in arrivals. Whether you're at JFK or LaGuardia, it doesn't matter. But for some fucking reason, in LA, they can't. So they sent you some shitty ass lot called LA Exit, and it's a long ass walk, and the fucking Uber is like $20 more than would it be. So me, being a Chicago nigga, I found a hack about 4 years ago. So what I do, I act like I'm a tourist, and I take a fucking shuttle from from arrivals to the hotel. And then when I get to the hotel, I just call my Uber from the hotel. Uber about $14-15. I go to fuck home. And 9 times out of 10, it's the Marriott LAX. They got a bar, they got a restaurant in that motherfucker. I might give me a steak, give me a whiskey, I eat, chill, and go
Oh, yeah,
fuck
you
home.
good money. Yeah, you done figured it out, boy.
I've been doing this for 4 years, right? So I either go to the Marriott or the Westin because that was the one closest to my apartment. So those are two I usually go to. So I land on Friday, 3 o'clock. It's 95 degrees outside. Beautiful day in Los Angeles. And so I wait for about 5 minutes. The Westin a shuttle pulls up. So I get on the Westin, and it's me and some other white lady. And the dude who's the driver gotta be like Jamaican or some shit. Jamaican, African, or whatever. And so we get to the Westin, and you know how usually you tip the guy. I didn't have any cash on me. So I didn't have any fucking cash on me. So it wasn't like I wasn't trying to tip old boy. I just didn't have no cash on me. And I said, my bad, dog. I ain't got no cash on me. And I walked off, went into the Westin. I called my goddamn Uber. So I called the Uber pulled up in like 5 minutes. So I'm going to put my bag in the Uber. The African nigga, he comes. He's like, oh, no, you got to pay $25. I'm like, $25? He was like, I'm like, the fuck you talking about $25? He's like, well, yeah, that's the shuttle fee. I'm like, nigga, there's no shuttle fee. Like, it says free shuttle on the sign and on the shuttle. I was like, well, you said, well, you supposed to give me the money. I'm like, I told you, I don't have cash on me. So it's not my fault that I don't have cash on you, bro. I'm not doing it to fuck you or anything like that. I legitimately do not have cash on me, so I don't know what you're going to do. So this nigga going to tell my Uber driver, oh, well, he going to have to go there and talk to somebody. I was like, I ain't got to do shit. He's like, well, I'm going to block off the car. I'm like, nigga, I wish you would. So I put the bag in the Uber, in the Uber, and I told him, get the fuck out of my way. And so he tried to block the door. And I was like, dude, I will beat your fucking ass if you don't get out the way of the fucking door. So he's just like got startled. And so my Uber driver don't know what the fuck is going on. He's just sitting there like, dude, what the fuck is going on? So I get in the car. This nigga grabbed the Uber door. So I slammed the Uber door. I was like, I will break your fucking hand. Keep playing with me. And so he moved his hand, and I told Uber driver drive. And so the Uber driver's like, what happened? I'm like, he just mad because I ain't getting no tips. He trying to force me to give him a tip. I'm like, get the fuck out of my face.
This is real Larry David so far.
Yeah, I was like, and I was just, and this is like the whole time. This is like the whole day. So like when I was getting on my flight, and what's the name of the airport? It ain't Dulles. That's the name of the airport.
Dulles, yep.
Dulles, which is in fucking Virginia, by the way.
Yes.
Like deep in Virginia, by the way. This was an hour deep as fuck. I'm in Virginia. It took me an hour and a half. Y'all get a little bit of summer session on here, so you're welcome. I got an hour and a half from my damn Uber. I mean, not from my damn hotel. Shout out to Pad for renting a car. Because if I had to pay an Uber for that, I'd have been mad as hell. But it was an hour and a half drive from where I was at in Maryland to Virginia. So I get there like 2 hours early, which is way earlier than I get to the airport. So I'm drinking. It's like 10 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, man, this is a 6-hour flight. I need to calm my nerves. So I get on the flight, and I have an exit row seat, which I didn't expect to have an exit row seat. But I'm like, whatever, we here now. So this fucking asshole sitting next to me, he's going to tell me to try to move my leg. I'm like, bro, it's two of us here in this little ass space, and you tell me to move my foot. I'm going to be over here leaning and shit, so there's nowhere for me to do. So this nigga going to point to me, this is the line. I was like, dude, I am not a child. If you don't move your fucking hand, like, we going to have some problems. And so then the flight attendant goes, do we have an issue? I'm like, look, I'm not trying to go no fly zone, nothing like that. I was trying to get to my place, and this fucking asshole right here. And she's like, well, there's no need to call names. Let's be civil. I'm like, he called me a dick before we started this. What are you talking about? So I was just like, yo, is there any way I can get a new seat? So he's being one of them extra white people, and he's just like, oh, I can't sit here, da-da-da-da. So the flight's delayed because this motherfucker don't want to sit down. So they finally find him a new seat. No, they tried to find him a new seat. He couldn't find one because there was one in the back that was even smaller than this. So they're getting ready to bring him back in. I was like, you say you had another one in the back? They was like, yeah, but it's real small. It's window seat. I was like, I don't give a fuck where it's at. I'll sit there. I'm going to beat his ass if I sit on this damn plane. And so it's like, sir, we just need you to calm down. I'll take you to the seat. So I went to the seat, and then there's another dude back there who got the middle row. This nigga all of a sudden act like he can't sit there. So they moved this nigga too. So now it's me. I hate window seats. Me, window seat, and some Asian lady who can't speak English. And she just like when I'm trying to get up to use the bathroom, she don't act like she don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So we got all this shit going on for a 6-hour flight.
Bro, what you was on 1960 airline? Like,
bro,
what's going on?
It's the
as soon as you show up, they act like they
this is
can't
United.
Even, that's crazy.
This is United, bro.
You was on a hot tub time machine flight, like,
bro. And so 5-hour flight, so 5-6 hour flight. So then we in the air, and this is gonna be the longest catch up ever, but whatever. We in the air, and by the time they get to my row, you know how they give out the little bullshit airplane cookies? By the time they get to my row, these niggas done ran out of cookies.
Ah.
So they give me one of those little fruit things. I'm like, what am I, a dog? What am I gonna do with this shit? I'm 35 years old. What am I gonna do with this shit? I ain't ate since 9. Like, what am I gonna do? So,
boy, you had niggas some trail mix,
like,
diet trail mix.
What the fuck are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So we had that
I ain't ate since 9.
I ate since 9 o'clock. You know what I had at 9 o'clock? I had a bagel with 2 shots of Jameson. That's what I had.
No. Not a balanced breakfast at all.
So I'm there like, I was like, do y'all have like any chips I can buy? And it was like, oh yeah, you can buy these Pringles. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me get a can of them Pringles.
$11.
So I'm getting ready to pull my card out. I don't even know how much it was. This is the funny part. So I'm getting ready to pull my card out. And they're like, oh, you have to have your card registered on a United app. Mind you, we're about an hour and a half in this flight. Wi-Fi don't work. How the fuck am I going to get that shit on there? So I'm trying to see, like, oh, did I save my card on there? So I saved my card on there, but for some reason, it's not coming up. And the only card that's coming up is my mama credit card. I'm like, well, my mama just going to have this $9 charge because, nigga, I got to eat. So I had that. So we finally land. I get to my spot and I had to deal with that asshole in fucking Weston. And so,
damn, man.
And, you know, get all that. And so I finally get home. And I'm like, look, you know, when I leave for like a long time, like I was gone for like 5 weeks, I leave no food in my refrigerator because I don't want nothing spoiled or nothing like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm halfway the way home and it hit me. Nigga, you ain't got no food at home. So I'm like, all right, let me DoorDash some shit so it get there by the time I get home. So I get there and then I got this big ass heavy bag. I got 5 weeks of clothes in there. There's no elevator in my building. And then we got these niggas working on shit in front of my building. So now I gotta move around these niggas. I done moved up 3 flights of stairs, big ass bag. I'm tired as hell. I'm like, I'm gonna give me a water when I get up there. I ain't got no water in the crib. I cleaned the water out before I left. So I'm like, oh shit, my taco's gonna be here in like 15 minutes. Let me run to the gas station real quick and give me some water. So I run to go get some water, and I see my DoorDash like 5 minutes away. And shout out to the nigga who is at the counter at the gas station. He cool nigga. And so he want to talk about the bill. I'm like, nigga, if these motherfuckers working on the stairs of my house steal my tacos, I'm gonna personally whoop your ass. So let's hurry this shit up. So that was my entire day. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that sounds very much like life imitating art, or vice versa.
It was a curb your enthusiasm episode, bro. Yeah. But it was all good because I had a good time in DC. DC is a great time. I enjoyed it. I got to meet Taylor Rooks. She is an amazing person. Yeah. Shout out my man Kev for hooking that up. Yeah. So I had a good time, man.
But the most important question I want to ask from this whole shit, from all that eventful story you told, is how was the tacos?
Tacos were amazing.
Okay, cool. Well,
tacos were amazing.
Well, you know what? Because if the tacos was trash, it would have made everything else not even worth it. So if they was fire, then you know you was good.
Shout out to Benny's Tacos on Venice Boulevard. They always hook me up. They throw a nigga extra churro and shit.
Hey, that's what kind.
You know what I'm saying? When I come in there, them niggas give me mad coupons. Shout out to them niggas. They see my name. They like, oh, we gonna throw Scott some extra chips. You know what I'm saying? So
that's good shit.
Shout out to my niggas Benny's on Venice Boulevard. That was the longest sound off ever. I will probably go into more detail about my actual time in DC tomorrow on Summer Session. So y'all might want to tune into that. But y'all are here to hear us talk about sports. So we're gonna get into this, man. NFL Week 5 concludes tonight, Monday Night Football in Vegas, Allegiant Stadium. It will be the Vegas Raiders taking on the Green Bay Packers. We will actually preview that later in the show. I love how Vegas is becoming a sports city now, man. That's kind of cool.
Shout out to the Aces.
Shout out to the Aces up 1-0.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kelsey Plum calling out Tom Brady like, Nick, you should have not been coming. You should be coming in the regular season and shit. It's
Yeah,
all
absolutely. Yeah, it's all
you know
good.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So,
yeah.
but yeah, I got a couple topics from this season, from last night that I want to get over. First off, man, the Niners, Cowboys, one of the greatest rivalries in
Whew.
NFL history.
Yeah.
Cowboys got their shit peeled last night, 42-10. Brock
Clap it up
Purdy,
for that.
yeah, clap it up for that.
Boy.
Especially, I know Mariano really loves that. Being
When the
an NFC.
Cowboys lose, we all win. You remember that.
Shout out to Brock Purdy, man. I had a shit about Brock Purdy on this show last year.
Yeah.
A lot of things about Brock Purdy. And
Wait. Is Brock Purdy black? Is he mixed?
Okay.
I know how you do with these quarterbacks, Scott. I don't know.
Here we go. First of all, my quarterback is black. I resent this, okay? I resent this running joke.
That's
on this
another
network.
topic for another time. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you.
I resent this, but Brock Purdy, 17-24, 252 yards, 4 touchdowns. He had like some great throws, man. And of course the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles had another win last night. They are also 5-0, winning 23-14 right here in Los Angeles. Jalen Hurts, 25-38, 1 touchdown, interception, 303 yards. My question to y'all, gentlemen, man, who is the best team in football right now? Is it the Eagles or is it the San Francisco 49ers, man?
Hey, man, it's feeling like the 80s and early 90s, man. This is the San Francisco 49ers, and honestly, I don't even think it's close. That team right there, first of all, let me get my I told you so on. I told y'all niggas, man, Brock Purdy might not be the sexy name. He got a Rudy Poo ass name, fam. like nigga, the nigga got a name of a virgin, fam. He has the name of the lame ass dude in 80s movies.
His last name sounds
Brock
exactly
Purdy.
like Mike from the Wood. When I think she pretty.
Yeah, like that's buddy ass.
Yeah.
But with that being said, man, when you talk about a perfect quarterback on a perfect team for him, that's who Brock Purdy is. And that team with him and that defense, nah, man. I love the Eagles, fam. I love it. And the Eagles have not played their best game yet. So because they ain't played their best game yet and San Francisco out here demolishing everybody, it's the 49ers until somebody show me different.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I tend to agree with all of that. Honestly, because when you make the point about Brock Purdy being like the perfect quarterback for that team with that defense, like he reminded me of my dog Eli in that regard, because it's like you can have as many questions as you want, but the kid keeps getting it done. So like, what can you really say about him? You know what I'm saying? You could say he's not as good as the next quarterback with this, or he's worse than the next quarterback with that. But if he's getting it done on a championship caliber team, I don't really think there's much more you can say about him. You know what I'm saying? He seemed like a good dude. I think it's the 49ers by far. They just seem like a very complete team. Like there's no weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't feel like you can limit one of their targets because it'll look like it's by design because somebody else gonna shine. So it's like there's nothing you can really do. These boys looking like this might be the year. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm gonna say the 49ers for sure.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna agree with both y'all brothers, but I'm gonna go with the Niners. I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks that there's something about the Eagles that's off. And, I know what it is, and I really think we need a sarcasm font on Twitter because I said this. I was like, "There's something wrong with the Eagles," and some motherfucker was like, "Well, they lost both what's called coordinators." Like, no shit. Like that's what I was alluding to. So definitely, you're gonna see that. There's a difference there. And I feel like as good as Jalen Hurts is, and I think Jalen's great. I think Gerald McCoy said it best on Rich Eisen last week when Rich Eisen asked Gerald McCoy, was Brock Purdy elite? He said, no, Brock Purdy's really good. He's not elite yet. I don't even think Jalen Hurts is elite yet. He said to be elite, you got to do that shit 3 years in a row. That makes you elite. And I agree with that. If we talk about elite quarterbacks, there's only like 4 or 5. I would say that Patrick Mahomes obviously is an elite quarterback. Joe Burrow, elite quarterback. I know people talk shit about my mans, especially Courtney, Mikey, and Dante on this program. But Josh Allen is an elite quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, when he actually has a knee, is an elite quarterback. Those are elite quarterbacks right there. You know what I'm saying? So I got to give it to them. But as far as Jalen, I still got to see it again. I think Jalen, he makes good throws. He's a very accurate passer, but I can't put him in the elite thing yet. And with the defense, Shout out to Jalen Carter. And this is the thing, too, about Bears fans. Like, yes, I wish we'd have got Jalen Carter, but Darnell Wright is moving furniture. So I'm not really mad at Darnell Wright right now either. So it's kind of like one of those things where, yeah, I wanted Jalen, but Darnell's also balling at the same time. But there's also something with his defense. They're giving up a lot of points, too. I know that Sean McVay is a great coach. Pua Nakua, I think I pronounced his name right. This nigga's looking incredible right next to Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp was back last night. But they've been giving up a lot of points outside of last night. They only give up 14, but before there was 31 to the Commanders. And I think that's going to be something that's going to tee off on them come playoff time. You got a team like the San Francisco 49ers. This is a flawless team. Like that, the linebacker play is ridiculous. Fred Warner moves like a fucking bullet train, bro. Like it's ridiculous to see how he plays. The only thing they're missing is the quarterback. And Brock Purdy was good last year, and I was feeling very hesitant around him because he looked like a quarterback. It looked like he was one of those things. Oh, if he just doesn't fuck it up, they'll be good. The niggas make it even like you can tell by the spin on that ball, the communication that he has with his receivers. I think this is by far the best team, and not just the NFC, but in football. And I think when these two teams play December 3rd, now granted, that's about 2 months from now, they get a lot of injuries. A lot of things can happen between now and December 3rd. But if nobody gets hurt, I think that they're going to smack the Philadelphia Eagles, especially with all that shit they've been talking after the NFC Championship game last year. So I'm definitely going to give it to the San Francisco 49ers, man, as far as, who's the best team right now.
Here's the best thing about the San Francisco 49ers. They ain't talking. They ain't said shit.
Well, they said a lot of shit in the offseason, though.
I mean, everybody do. You know what I'm saying? But once the season started, they ain't said shit.
Yeah.
Dallas was all this week talking about how this game is important and how this could be the monkey off their back and yada, yada, yada. San Francisco ass was just sitting there like, oh, that's cool.
I bet.
Yeah, it's a secure team. The Cowboys is insecure. They always have been.
It's not even that. I mean, which they are when you see them even after the game, like Micah Parsons saying that he felt like they lost the game. Like, fuck out of here, fam. Respectfully.
Yeah, fuck on.
But the fact that the San Francisco 49ers is just sitting there like, all right, okay, bet. The San Francisco 49ers is that black dude that when you yelling, they hands is just behind their back like this. They just looking at you like, yeah, word. All right,
and they telling you, and they taking it a step further. They telling you when you're making a valid point. They're like, yeah, you got that. You got
so
that.
You're saying that the Niners are Marlo Stanfield?
Yes. Yeah.
The Cowboys is like when Bodie walked up on him when he had the golf club. And he like, your dog, like, this is levels. I'm gonna show you his levels. Look at the way I'm talking to you right now. Look around. Look what can happen to you. And they showed him. Because Dallas is front running, bro. Like, let's look at they wins. Like, I mean, I'm a Giants fan. I'm not gonna sit here and act like that didn't happen. Like, yeah, they beat us. We're a terrible team. They beat a couple terrible teams, but it's like when you play against the dogs, why you ain't try that with homie around the corner? You know what I'm saying? Maybe they told Debo that, you ain't try that when they, you know what I mean? And it's like it's different. It's just a different level. So it's like getting exposed like that, dog. And Michael Parsons, man, I feel like I've probably never been able to say this in my life until now, but he's like a likable cowboy. Like what he does on his podcast, how he give credit to other people.
He's the likable cowboy.
He's the only one that I can think about like in my entire life.
I mean, that's how I feel about Justin Jefferson. Like, I really like that guy.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like I get that, right? So I understand when he's talking, but when he says shit like this, like, oh, the score isn't. Can I say that about week one then? No, I don't feel like there's that much differences between us. They beat us 40-0, but that score doesn't really tell the whole story.
That's not a real indicator of what kind of team we are.
You know who talk like that? People that lost the game. They talk like that. Nobody that won the game is gonna say the score wasn't indicative. No, it was. We're better than y'all. We showed y'all.
Yeah, 42-10, fam. You should not say shit about the score.
What are we talking about?
And you know what's crazy? Because I went to sleep. Like, first of all, let me say this. Fuck the Ravens. Because they messed up my parlay.
I was about to say, listen, and before you even said that, I said you sound like a better, because only a better would say fuck the Ravens.
Fam.
Now, Bane came in the group chat very upset about that yesterday.
Like,
they've been killing people tickets for like 4 years, bro. Like,
and And I know we're gonna talk about them a little bit later, so let me just get that out the way. Fuck them. But also, so I read getting it out the way. Like let me get another real quick parlay for the late games. And I text my man Mike B, some dude, check us out. And I checked my cousin O. And I had under 45 for the game. Because I'm thinking this is going to be a defensive game. This shows you how much I respect the goddamn Dallas Cowboys at this point. I text them both. I know Mike is a big Dallas Cowboy fan. And I say, yo, should I go ahead and cash out? I sent them the ticket. Mike was like, nah, man, cashing out is for quitters. I text my cousin. My cousin was like, yeah, I don't respect that cash out number. So just go ahead and keep it. All I'm thinking is I'm about to give me an iPhone 15 with whatever happens. I went to sleep part of the second half. I just nodded off. And I woke up and I was like, yo, what the fuck happened to the game? Let me cash this shit out, man. And, of course, the cash out number was nowhere near what I could have got if I would have went ahead and did it. Man, after the third quarter, I was like, yep, this game, let me go ahead and go to sleep. That's how much I looked at that game and was like, yo, first of all, one, it got out of hand. And two, the Dallas Cowboys were trying. Look, rewatch the game. This is the interesting part, which is why I say the San Francisco 49ers is far and away the best team in the NFC. I didn't even feel like they was trying that game. You go look at Micah Parsons versus Trent Williams, because they highlighted that. It was a part of the game where Chris Collinsworth and Mike Tirico was talking about that particular matchup. Micah Parsons looked like he was trying his ass off. Trent Williams was not. Mm-hmm. He was just like, yeah, this is easy.
Yeah, just stay away from me. Yeah.
Like, this a little nigga right here.
The Dallas Cowboys look like on every run, every pass, every defensive play, they was giving their hearts out.
Yeah.
The 49ers was little nigger in these marks. They was just like, oh, that's it? Oh, man.
Yeah. And that type of shit look good against bad teams. That's why Dallas is always that front running ass team, because when they go out there and poke their chests out and do their best and they on it, they'll destroy teams that's not on their level. But when they play a team that's actually on their level one, but then a step further is a team that's better than them, it shows you just how far away they are. So, like, yeah, the teams at the bottom might be far away from you, but look how far you are from being a contender. You're horrible. You worse than us because you actually think you good. We know we ain't good. You think you good, though. You think you as good as them, and they beat you by 32 points. Like, all right.
Man, that shit was Debo versus the Crit. And boys, and give me the ball back. He kicked that nigga. Yeah, that's what that game was, fam. That was the equivalent. Give my brother his ball back.
Yeah. Shout out to the Niners, man.
I feel like that's like a perfect segue to the next like point about the fucking Cowboys, man. Mm-hmm. After a while, it's like, what's that old country song? You gotta know when to hold them, you gotta know when to fold them. I don't know who the fuck made that shit.
You gotta know when to walk away.
Like, bro, like this nigga Dakota has been quarterback since 2016. So we are about 2.5 months away from 2024.
Range Dakota at that.
He ain't got it. He ain't got it. It's over. Like, they're not going to be bad enough to get into the Caleb Williams, Drake May, maybe even Shedeur Sanders type of sweepstakes that's going to be happening. But them niggas got to move on. Like, Dak is not the one. Is he the main reason why they're losing these games? No. Mike McCarthy is a god-awful play caller. It's like sometimes they forget the CeeDee Lamb exists. So there's other things that go with this. But the nigga stinks. Like, don't come out and say, oh, I'm not going to throw 10 picks. Yeah, you're not throwing picks because you're not throwing it down the fucking field. I've seen this play before. Aaron Rodgers did the last 3-4 years in Green Bay. That's why they're like, look at Aaron Rodgers. You don't throw picks. Yeah, you ain't throwing picks. You don't throw it out of bounds all the damn time. So, to me, the thing about the Cowboys, like you were saying, Mariano, is like these niggas are front runners, bro. Like, they are the ultimate front runners. Why everybody likes laughing at their ass because they got this loud-ass fucking fan base. And honestly, I would say, like, there's two fan bases who are stuck in the 90s. It's the Cowboys and the Bulls. The only difference is Bulls fans aren't loud. I think Bulls fans are very aware of what our team's current situation
Yeah.
is and has been since old Margarine Eyes left the building 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Cowboy fans still think that they are must-see television.
Look no further than Steven Jackson saying, y'all all hating on the Cowboys and, we still on TV every week, so deal with it. And it's like, bro, do you realize that you're part of the problem? Because you're supporting this product that's like just good enough to be better than like the average, but you're not good enough to actually get taken serious at the dance. So it's like, like what are you really? You're actually in football hell. You're in football hell because you're way too good to get a high draft pick. You know what I'm saying? But you're way too trashed up to compete for it. So you just treading water, but it's like sewage water. You know what I mean? That somebody just shit in, like just now.
The Dallas Cowboys are on TV every week, and so is Notre Dame.
Right.
Shit.
Well, Michael Wilbon say, my nigga, I'm glad you said that.
It's the same shit.
That's not the flex you think it is, bro.
Yeah.
Look, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. Teams like the Cowboys, organizations like them, Notre Dame, and all of that stuff. And I know they want to. I know Jerry Jones don't want to be old as hell and not get him another ring. I know that. Here's the problem, though, fam. It's not even necessarily Jerry Jones I blame. It's the players. Because it's like when you get into the club, the good club for the first time. Like, I've been going to this ragtag club all my life, and now all of a sudden I'm up in here with all of the bad bitches. You realize you up in here with all of the bad bitches, and you forget about everything else in the club. That's the Dallas Cowboys, fam.
So you saying it's like when a nigga go to Venice Beach bars, and all of a sudden this nigga's at Delilah, and he's like, oh, nigga, hoes up in here.
Yeah, so now you just excited to be there, fam. And the thing about it is, as far as the Dallas Cowboys is concerned, fam, is that team that won because they were so huff when they got bought by Jerry Jones, and they were so huffed that first year with like Jerry Jones, and he got all of them young cats. It was the hunger to win. When you are the Dallas Cowboys, when you are the most profitable franchise in sports, what's the drive to win when you get there? What's the drive to win? You look, Dakota Prescott, Dakota Prescott. He gonna be in all of the commercials. He gonna be on the front page of every newspaper and all of that. But do he got the talent to exceed all of that, fam? No, you need dogs at the end of the day. Emmitt Smith ain't walking through that. Michael Irvin ain't walking through that. Deion Sanders, Larry Allen, Mark Stepnoski, fam, Eric Williams, them was dogs. Kim Norton, you know what I'm saying? Darren Woodson, all of them was dogs, fam. And they knew. Even then, the Dallas Cowboys is still one of the most popular franchises, and we in Dallas getting all of the pussy, doing all of the cocaine, doing all of that stuff. And they knew in order to keep the lights on and keep the cocaine on my table, we got to win, fam. We got to win. Now, we ain't there, fam. You going to be on the front page or whatever just because. That's why I said the only dog on that team to me is Micah Parsons. Because Buddy came from Penn State, where he had to deal with Michigan and Ohio State. Yeah. And in some cases, Michigan State getting more love for him. He got the dog in him. And the reason why he said that, because he truly feel like, yo, we better than these niggas.
Exactly.
But the reason why he feel that way, because he know he the dog. But he ain't got no dogs over there like that. He's
speaking for himself, like on behalf of the team, trying to make that their identity. But the thing about, like you said about those old Cowboys teams, Michael Irvin was so great. He said, I don't even want y'all to retire 88. I want y'all to keep giving 88 out, because every time y'all see 88, y'all going to always talk about me and talk about how great I was. Y'all going to always talk about playmaking when you see 88. That's how great he was, dog. Nah, keep trotting that number out there on the field, because I'm part of that era. I'm from that era. I don't want y'all to retire my number. I'm not scared of nobody surpassing that type of shit. Like, they know what's going on over there. Y'all going to always be just good enough. And these sports shows need something to talk about in the morning, and they know y'all gonna lace up y'all Flint Air Jordan 13s with the jean shorts with the Cowboys jersey. They know y'all gonna tune in and they're gonna listen to the Cowboys segment, so they're gonna play it. It makes sense for business. I get it 100%. So when it's a new Cowboys segment on my TV and they trash, I understand why. But those fans that's buying into it is part of the problem, and they're getting exactly what they deserve. To be honest, that's what they deserve. They don't deserve They don't deserve a team that's bad enough to get a top pick. They deserve a team that's good enough to win it every single year by, the media standpoint, whatever, and then never win anything. That's exactly what they deserve, and I'm happy every single season that people say they're going to the Super Bowl because I know they aren't.
I will say this, and this is very harsh for me to say, considering how I feel about this certain quarterback. I've been calling him trash since before he was drafted. But they might have to just cut bait with Dakota this year and see what you got in Trey Lance. Like I said, I might be able to outthrow Trey Lance, but we all know that Cooper Rush is just going to be a backup, and I feel like at this point, or trade for someone. Who you gonna trade for? I have no fucking idea. Like Kirk Cousins is a more flashy Dak Prescott. Like he's like, he's Dak Prescott plus. That's what Kirk Cousins is. Like he'll give you the numbers that Dak doesn't have, but he also has the back-breaking interceptions. So that's not gonna get you over. The worst place to be, and not just the NFL, but in sports, is the fucking middle. Yeah. You either want to be really, really fucking good, competing for championships, or you ass, my nigga.
But see, Scott, and this is not just for the Dallas Cowboys. This is for sports in general. This is for the NFL especially, right? Who's on the Dallas Cowboys on offense, since offense runs the league now? So as much as I love Michael Parsons and believe that he's top 5 NFL player, you go on all of these shows and these talking heads say he can't even get MVP because he's a defensive lineman. Yeah. So I say that to say this. Who's on the Dallas Cowboys to where you can trust them to take over a game?
Only him.
Ain't one.
Yeah, it's only him.
On the offensive side.
No, on the offensive side, no.
There's a lot of niggas, there's a lot of people in the NFL, right, that's just good. And they go to these teams, and like Scott said, that they're not bad enough to they suck, but they're not good enough to get you over the hump. I think CeeDee Lamb is a decent player. I can't trust CeeDee Lamb. I can't look at CeeDee Lamb if CeeDee Lamb look at me and be like, nah, look, just give me the rock. I got you.
CeeDee is no DJ Moore, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no, he's not that. Like, fam, you could trust Jay Novacek ass to be like, yo, give me the rock.
Ooh,
I
nigga,
got this, my nigga. Yeah. You can look at Moose Johnston and be like, yo, I got your block, fam. Yeah. There's nobody on the Dallas Cowboys offense that you even fear to even think that. Larry Allen was a fucking offensive guard. Quite honestly, one of the best offensive guards of all time. Yeah. Hey, run it behind me, Jack. I got you. Who's on that offensive line that's going to be able to do that? The Dallas Cowboys have drafted pretty decent, but pretty decent don't get you over the hump. Yeah. There's no dogs on that team. And the crazy thing is, I like Jerry Jones because sometimes I think Jerry Jones be getting talked out of drafting some of the people that he be wanting to draft, and for great reason, but he be wanting them because he truly believed that they dogs, and they be telling him to draft this halfway decent player, and they be stuck in situations like this. Even look at the quarterback situation. They ain't made a splash in the quarterback room.
Not to cut you off, but even if I think what you're trying to say too is just because you're a great player don't mean you're a dog. The dog has to be there, you know what I'm saying? And the dog ain't in none of these niggas, bro. Like, none of them, bro. Like,
Michael Irvin got more dog in him today,
right now,
than any of the Dallas Cowboys that's currently on the offensive side of the ball.
Got more dog in him today.
Like, fam, it's almost like wrestling, G. And I know I'm going on a little monologue, and I'm sorry, but it's like, look at wrestling, fam. Like, the dog coming out, fam. Like, yo, I got to watch. If I'm an up-and-coming wrestler, I got to go watch, like, Kurt Angle when he was Perk Angle to be like, yo, that's that dog, and I need in him. Oh, come on, man. CeeDee Lamb. Hey, Michael Irvin, I know you out there on NFL Network, and you be on the sideline with Deion Sanders, but really, your ass need to go back to the team and preach to these niggas like, yo, I be on this TV sweating my fucking ass off, trying to get y'all to do some shit and telling everybody in the world how, hey, my Dallas Cowboys got this. I be sitting there drenched. My shit be wet, fam. I be dripping on the stage just for y'all ass to get washed 42-10 by a team that I hate.
But here's the problem though. Like it's kind of like what Gucci said: you either got sauce or you don't got sauce. You either got the
get
dog
lost
or you
in it,
don't,
nigga.
Yeah. You can't inherit like you can't like gain dog.
Especially not when that's your quarterback. Let's just be real about this shit, bro. Like let's be honest. Dak Prescott, okay, cool, right? Black quarterback, all right, cool. But what Cam just got done saying with Mays? He ain't a nigga's nigga. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry to be the one to say it. I'm sorry to be the guy. You look at me, my black ass, and I just talk about eating chicken and naps and all that shit. Cool, but I can still call out a fellow black man for not being a nigga's nigga. He's not.
Oh, hey, Mari, I'll even go better than that. I'll even go better for all that shit that you said, fam. I don't give a fuck who you are. You could be my best friend. The minute you call me a bitch ass nigga,
we're gonna have to figure something out. We're gonna have to
have a conversation.
We're going to have to figure something. We're gonna have to figure out what it was that I said or what it was that you heard from somewhere else that made you say that to me. Because we got
Trayvon Diggs in practice after interception told Rain Dakota Prescott,
you a bitch
get your bitch ass up out of here.
I want y'all to do me a favor.
And all Dakota did was this.
Listen, I want y'all to do me a favor. Go back and look at those Giants teams that Eli was the leader of, and go look at how many niggas we had on that team. At any given moment, when Eli was out there throwing pick sixes, no, he had a lot of niggas on that on them Giants teams. At any given point when Eli was throwing them pick sixes and all that, and some of them was egregious, they ain't never called him that.
They ain't never called him no bitch. Like, not in his face.
They ain't never, not to his face. Not
into his face.
I ain't never heard
that man in practice caught the ball and was like, get your bitch ass up out of here.
Guess what? You know,
somebody on the offensive line was supposed to knock him on his ass and be like, fam, that's not the one you say that to.
He did that because everybody else had been saying it, and he was like, I'm gonna say it. And they was like, no, go ahead. And he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna say it. Everybody else was waiting on somebody to say it. Like, run over the hill for us. They all agreed with it before it even got.
Oh man, that's trash talk. Oh, it's just trash talk. No,
it's just trash talk between the guys.
That's trash talk.
He another Russell Wilson, dog.
That's trash talk. And that's bitch. And here's the thing. Here's why I got a little bit more respect for Russell Wilson. In that, at least Russell would have told the coach, like, yo, tell him not to call me that shit. Dakota just was like, huh?
I think it's a good job.
No, real shit.
Let me go get back to the play. Let me go get back to the play. All right. Like, I would have been sitting over there as no matter where I'm at on the field.
Yeah.
As a member of the Dallas Cowboys organization, I would have been like, did he just?
Even if you was faking it, look, even if you was faking it, you could have had a nigga hold you back. Like, bro, nah, niggas gonna have to hold me back. It's gonna be a 10-minute video. A nigga
muff
trying
the
to hold
nigga.
Me back and me moving niggas on.
Get your bitch ass up out of here. What the fuck you talking about?
You got at least aggressive.
I'm gonna fight a nigga that ain't had nothing to do with it. You remember
hold me back.
Remember the episode of Martin when he was going back and forth with Pretty Ricky, what they called him?
Pretty Ricky,
and he was like, he said, "Hey man, you laughing a little too hard back there, ain't you?" Martin even addressed him. You can't address a nigga that's calling you a bitch ass nigga like that. I'm not having it, bro.
So
if Martin can address him, you can address him.
So to me, that's a microcosm of the Dallas Cowboys as an organization.
Yeah.
They don't really respect Rain Dakota Prescott, my G. They don't. They know, and here's the thing.
They saw the same video we saw.
Even with the lack of talent, if the man showed he had heart, if the man showed he had a dog in him, they would not have called him that. Yeah. They know they got a so-fast nigga at quarterback. We ain't got no running back like Pollard, but he ain't it from an everyday down perspective. Our wide receivers are as decent to hella decent. We ain't heard shit from Brandon. What's my man name? Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, Brandon Cooks.
All year long, he was supposed to be the dude that stretched the right. He was supposed to be the dude that stretched the field. CeeDee Lamb ain't take over no damn game. He should remove the 88 from his chest. Yeah. Get 87 or get 8. Get another damn number.
That's why Playmaker said, I don't want my number retired. I want y'all to keep thinking everybody is me. And I want y'all to, every time y'all run 88 out there, y'all say, hey, remember Michael Irvin? Remember that guy? You know what I'm saying?
I'll say that we gotta move on to the next one. We could be on here talking about the Cowboys all damn day. But I will say this Jerry Jones gotta make a move. He gotta make a move quick because I still think they'll bounce back. They'll win 10 games. A little while.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be real, they're gonna get snuffed out. And I never thought I'd ever say this in my entire life. We talking about the Eagles and the fucking Niners. Nigga, Lions and stuff, them snuff them niggas out.
Yeah, real shit.
That's the point. Oh, perfect point. You think Dan Campbell gonna allow some nigga on the defense
Hell no.
to call Jared, like tell
No
Jared
way.
Goff, get your bitch ass up out of here?
Aiden
After
Hutchinson-
practice interception?
Aiden Hutchinson can smell the bitch on Dakota Prescott all the way from Michigan. Okay,
Absolutely.
Man.
Shout out to Hutch too.
about it.
Yeah, shout out to him because he's killing shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
mad that
yeah.
I got to deal with that nigga for 10 years.
Nah, shout out to that nigga, bro. He's
Hey,
he's
did you
Did you
actually
see
killing
that
shit.
one hand pick
From
he
Michigan?
had?
Yes.
The nigga
The
went from Michigan
Detroit-
right to the Lions. I love it. Like as
The
a
Detroit
nigga, I love it.
Lions. The Detroit Lions look like they will
look
beat
good,
your
bro.
ass in the fight.
Bro, they look
Yeah.
good. Like,
And-
they got dogs on their team, bro.
Yeah, they do.
They got dogs.
And as much as I have never been a Jared Goff fan, for Jared Goff to get sent to the worst team in the league
And to have them looking like contenders,
and to have them looking like that,
that's legacy.
because
changing,
he's
bro.
supposed to be
Jared
Huff. Like, honestly, when you think about Jared Goff should not be in the NFL right now. He should be Carson Wentz. He literally should be Carson Wentz the way they just threw him over to Detroit and they got their ring. All right, they got everything they wanted, but they threw his ass over to Detroit. Everybody and their mama was like, yo, they got Jared Goff. Them niggas gonna be Huff. Even when they drafted Hendon Hooker, the first thought was, hey, man, Hendon Hooker get healthy. He can replace Jared Goff. Jared Goff is probably, I will say this again, somebody tried to say I was wrong a couple of weeks ago. Jared Goff is playing like a top 5 quarterback in the NFC. I hate David Montgomery ass because he left us. This motherfucker's out here looking like a Pro Bowl running back right now.
Yeah.
And we ain't even talked about the right St. Brown because he was out.
Right, and it didn't matter.
Man, that's
It
real
didn't matter.
shit.
Granted,
real
they played
shit.
the fucking worst team in football, but it didn't matter.
Yeah, it's
And
not.
It
Shout out to
don't
Jared
matter.
Goff.
You make them look like the worst team in football.
And this is my final point on the Cowboys when we talk about the Lions. The Lions are the ultimate party pooper here. We just talked about who the best team in the NFL. Everybody wants this Eagles, Niners, NFC Championship game rematch. If there's any team in the NFC who can ruin that, it is the Detroit Lions. You got a coach, I call him Man Campbell. That when you look up football, you see a picture of this nigga.
Yeah.
This nigga is a
Nah, he real.
football. He's a football savant. He's got that team believing. And I came in there this offseason hating because I thought the Bears would be better than they were. But this team is legit. I still think if they play Philly, if they play the Niners, I would still take Philly and I would still take the Niners. But I'm telling you, on any given Sunday, they got dogs in that defense. They got dogs on the offense. They got a very underrated offense.
You wouldn't feel confident taking them on, like taking one of those teams on your parlay to cover points against them. I'll tell you that, and that counts for a lot when you talk about the Lions, because I'm a born and raised Detroit nigga, and I know my whole life has been nothing but agony and pain when it comes to the Detroit Lions. But Dan Campbell, this current Lions team, like long live my pops, he would have loved like this current Lions team for sure. Like regardless of what happened, however far they go in the season, he would have absolutely loved this effort and how they look, because this is all Lions fans been asking. Yeah, no, they look like how the city smells and sounds and fucking feels. Like it's what
when you come to Ford Field, you getting your ass beat.
Yeah, that's what. Whether you win or lose, you're gonna know you was in the fight. Period. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the team that the city been asking for a long time. It's a team that, or a city that's looking at a team that, like, other teams come from out of town. They like, oh, this is just a check on the schedule. Like, nah, we ain't just no check on the schedule, bro. Whether you win or lose, you're gonna know you played the Lions this week. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely got shout out to the Lions for sure. They killing shit. Jared Goff, niggas thought Jared Goff was gonna look like how Daniel Jones is looking with the Giants. I'm gonna be 100 with you, and he's not. He's looking like a dude that is because of him that they're winning. 100%. Shout out to him. Shout out to Jared Goff. Real shit.
Like, who's that hella decent quarterback that was probably not top 5, but that hella decent quarterback that you hate going up against because it was like, yo, I might end up catching the L because this motherfucker might get hot. Matter of fact, I'm going to give y'all a quarterback, and it really depends on y'all niggas' ages because y'all niggas is younger than me.
I'm 35.
But, so
I would be 35. I would be 35 in 2 weeks.
So we'll be about this year.
Stan motherfucking Humphries, my nigga. Stan Humphries was the quarterback of the San Diego Chargers when them niggas went to the Super Bowl. He was a backup quarterback with the Washington Redskins. They traded his ass to San Diego. It was him and a bunch of niggas with Junior Seau, and they end up going to the Super Bowl, nigga. We will never have a full-ass conversation about Stan Humphries in our motherfucking life.
You know who
but that motherfucker went to a Super Bowl and was decent as hell that year. Mark Ripken, too.
I'm gonna tell you who was a quarterback I was scared to face. Mark Brunell, bro.
Oh,
Mark Brunell was a nigga where it was like, yo, dog, anything can happen if Mark Brunell is the quarterback. Like, if their starting quarterback is out, but Mark Brunell is playing, your team, don't brag too much that day, my nigga, going into that game. Because your team might catch that L fucking with Mark. Shout out to Mark Brunell, wherever he at, whatever he doing. I'm going to keep it 100. He stressed me out many Sundays. You know, playing against the, like real shit. Shout out to him, dog. Shout out to Mark Brunell.
Yeah, another perfect example of a quarterback that probably wasn't top 5.
But boy, you don't want to play him. I bet you don't want to see Mark Brunell, nigga.
That motherfucker, him and Keenan McCardell get hot.
Boy,
it's a long night.
I bet you don't want to see Mark Brunell, nigga.
Old school Jaguars
night.
Y'all fine, man. Let's move on to a guy who has been running this fucking league for the last 20 years, Bill Belichick. Now, I said on this fucking show, week motherfucking 1, it's time for this nigga to go home and be a fucking family man. All right, he has suffered his 2 worst losses in his career in back-to-back weeks. These niggas got smacked. They didn't score yesterday against fucking check down Jesus, Derek Carr, and the New Orleans Saints. And I say this with the most ultimate respect for this man. I think Bill Belichick is the greatest coach to ever ever pick up a headset. I don't give a fuck about Vince Lombardi. I don't. Shout out to all them other coaches, nigga. Like Bill Belichick, hoodie is numero uno. 6 championships, 8 if you include his time with the Giants. This dude set up defenses. If you were a quarterback and you had a hot week, you didn't want to give this nigga time to research you. He was gonna break you down. 6 championships, man. The first championship I seen Bill Belichick win, I was in 7th grade. The last championship I seen Bill Belichick win, I was in my 30s. That tells you how damn long this dude has been dominant. Having said all of that shit, it is fucking over. Okay. I'm not saying that he's going to get fired. No, Robert Kraft has too much respect for Bill Belichick to do that. And remember, he's the GM and the coach. But that needs to be one of the statements on the behalf of the Kraft and Belichick family. Bill is going to step down and focus on other endeavors like building this team into the next era of New England Patriots football. And then you bring in whoever you want to bring in as the next head coach. This nigga goes back being GM, and then you put him in the ring the same with Tom Brady.
All right, Mario, let me cook real quick. You ain't even got to one shot this because I want to see Scott's face.
Do you think?
I don't think the problem is Bill Belichick the coach. The problem is Bill Belichick the GM. Okay. This motherfucker's terrible as a GM, fam.
So he needs to be going home, period.
Nigga, he knows. They need to be like, yo, we're about to usher in a new era and bring in another GM. Fam, they have no talent on that fucking team whatsoever. I watched that game more than any other game because I was like, who the fuck are these niggas, fam? Like, I am Tommy Davidson at the Breakfast Club.
Who are these niggas?
Who are these niggas? Like, he's playing. You got Mac Jones throwing to Kendrick Bourne and Juju Smith-Schuster. You got Ramon Stevenson as the fucking running back.
Is ABC.
You don't know anybody on this fucking offensive line. You can't name anybody on the defense now that Matt Judah Red Arms is gone, my nigga. They just traded for a nigga that used to be on the team because that nigga got put to pasture in fucking in the Chargers, fam. This team, this nigga Bill Belichick is too smart for his own good because he feel like he could put anybody and plug them in. And that worked for a number of years. But now you have trash, my nigga. You can't plug any of these niggas in here. And you drafted them. I guarantee. And here's the fucked up thing. Oh, man. Mac Jones. Oh, man, he had he had a defensive coordinator and a special teams coordinator as his offensive coordinator last year. Of course he's going to be terrible. Oh, they get Bill O'Brien. Oh, what did they say? Oh, man, they finally got a quarterback guru. Somebody that can also be the heir apparent of... That nigga still huffing. You know why? Because Bill O'Brien had a better wide receiver core at Alabama than he do with this team right here. Bill Belichick needs to let go of the GM duties and just coach and let a nigga rebuild this team up, and that nigga will be okay. But as long as his ass is the GM of that team, them niggas gonna be huffed because he feel like he could plug you, Scott, at the center, me at the tackle, and Mari at the wide receiver. And with all of the things that I can cook up, we will be okay. No, nigga, because you need talent.
Yeah, I mean,
that's very accurate, and at the same time, it's like you look at Bill Belichick, and it's like he can get the most out of people, right? If you just give him somebody, but if he's looking at the talent, all he can see is like that little third down in the playoffs that guy can be useful for, because that's what he's good at coaching. But y'all might not even make it to the playoffs because that dude isn't good enough to get you there. So when you drafting him, you looking at it through like rose-tinted lenses, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a full. You're not dealing with a full scope there, and I don't know. I enjoy it because I'm a Giants fan. Like what I mean, we shit on.
Are you happy than motherfucker?
So yeah, it's cool. I'm cool with that. It's just like, but if you Bill Belichick, bro, like, just listen, Bill. Listen to me, my nigga. Go take your ass home, man. Take your ass home. Go cut that grass. Go walk that dog. Go cook some motherfucking breakfast. Go learn how to make these different type of smoothies and salads and shit like that. Because coaching the Patriots, my nigga, you're done. Like, you're finished. That team is ass. You got Ezekiel Elliott. You talking about giving him the lion's share of the carries. And it's like, okay, cool. Give him every carry. And he's going to end up with negative yardage after the game. Like, what are you doing? The game is fucking past. This nigga looking crazy.
This nigga picked up Zeke like he was Corey Dillon, fam, and was like, "Yo, we gonna do something with this
like,
shit."
Oh, we bought the boy. You ain't never seen nobody use Zeke. How we gonna use him? You right, but in the wrong way.
Bill Belichick, been passing thick ass hoes for so long. And getting an ugly girl because they gonna pay attention to everything that he say. That's what Bill Belichick has been doing. Yeah. He been passing the fine, thick ass chicks because he like, man, as soon as they open their mouth, man, I gotta hear this motherfucking shit. He go get the ugly ass girl because she like, I'm gonna listen to everything that he say because I love him and I know I can't go nowhere else instead of this nigga. Yeah. The New England Patriots got a whole bunch of niggas on the team that would not start if they went anywhere else on this motherfucking NFL. And yes, I mean the Arizona Cardinals. I mean the New York Giants.
Yes.
I mean,
I was about to say their name. Say their name. I was gonna say it if you did.
Who on this goddamn team outside of Matthew Judah could go start for another team in the NFL and be successful? None of these niggas, because Bill Belichick. I don't even know they were receivers. I'm gonna be 100 with you. Bill Belichick been passing up fine assholes because they open up their mouth too much and dealing with these ugly broads. And because it's like, hey,
and also, you know what?
I like open their mouth.
I like this because like I love Tom Brady, So I like this with Tom Brady's legacy because it's like as many times as y'all said Tom Brady didn't have anybody at wide receiver, we all knew their names though. I bet you that. Right now, I have a phone. I can Google this. I can tell Scott to edit this part of me Googling it out, and I will not pull my phone out, but I need to figure out who the wide receivers are for that team. I knew who Deion Branch was. I knew who Chris Hogan was. I knew who all these niggas was.
Troy Brown, nigga.
Troy Brown. I knew who all these niggas was, bro. All of
David
them.
Givens, nigga.
I knew. Listen, we sitting here. We just named off more people in the past 25 years than we can name that's playing currently. Let's be real. Let's keep it.
And there ain't no dogs either, like we just said with the Dallas Cowboys. Ain't no dog. Them niggas was hella decent because they was dogs.
Right.
Yeah. They was the hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard ass niggas.
Lunch pail with the hard hat and the flannel shit. That's what I'm saying. So let's not do too much. How the kids say now, not too much on Tom Brady now, like because I like to say that, Belichick can do it with anybody.
The women like to say, let's keep it cute.
Let's keep it cute. Tom Brady did his big one with the Patriots.
Yeah, man, I agree with y'all on that, man. I just need to say it's time for you to be a family man.
Go home, man. Bill, take your ass home. Get that tomato soup with the fucking grilled cheese, nigga. Get your ass out of football, nigga.
Go watch some Matlock reruns, nigga.
Go walk your motherfucking St. Bernard and go watch TV, nigga.
This motherfucker's out here drafting. This nigga's out here drafting marks from Troy and shit. Talking about some. That'd be good for the program.
Man, go take your ass home and build a motherfucking puzzle, nigga. Go home and be Lester Freeman from The Wire, nigga. Get your ass out of football, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? Take your ass home, man. For real.
Go build a puzzle.
What you talking about, man? Go do something.
I know which clip is gonna be the IG rule this week.
Man,
it's time for Belichick to be a family man, but. We gonna move over. I had a couple topics, but we getting a little short on time.
Let's do it.
Why you saying that shit? I'm about to look up this nigga's last couple of number one picks.
I want to get into the Baltimore Ravens, man.
Let's do it. I got some stuff to say about them.
I got some stuff to say about them.
That 600 for Scott, man. That was a $600 parlay, fam.
Hey, man.
That was a $600 parlay. Hey, look, I'm not Mikey. That parlay is what he bets. All right. As a family man,
shit last week when Mahomes took that knee in the end zone, that nigga texted me like, "Oh my god." That nigga was distraught.
Phil. All right. I just got before I even go look up these number one picks. I just got to say this. That shit hurt, Scott. That shit hurt.
That's why I don't gamble, nigga.
That shit hurt. Fam, he threw that pass to damn Odell Beckham. And my first thought was, why did you throw that to Odell now? All right. Yeah. If this was Odell
5 years ago,
5 years ago, this nigga threw it, and Joey Porter not only basically took the ball from him, but told that nigga what we've been saying about Bill Belichick to his face. It's time to go be a family man.
Be a family man. And guess what? Spending time with your kids sound way better than getting cooked by Joey Porter Jr., nigga.
Yeah.
And then did y'all hear the Randy call? Did y'all hear? Did y'all actually? So on the play that George Pickens got the touchdown, Kenny Pickett audibled by calling Randy. Basically, if you yell Randy, that means George Pickens, go, nigga. And that's what happened. And he basically got Marlon Humphrey's ass. And that cost me $617. Now, again, for some of y'all niggas, that's like, oh, that's chump change. For me, nigga, that's Pampers. All right?
Yeah, nigga.
That's Pampers and Sam's Club.
Hey, nigga, snacks is not cheap, bro. They not giving you that many chips in the bag.
I got
3 kids.
Right, I got 3 boys. That is a trip to Sam's Club.
I bought a fucking bagel this morning and some fucking Pepto Bismol, nigga. That was damn near $30. Like the 617 ain't shit.
Yeah.
Like saying that ain't shit. It's a lot of money, nigga.
Those Ravens wide receivers, bro. Like I tweeted this a little bit earlier. They out there playing like they trying to teach Lamar a lesson on some any given Sunday shit. Like he really beaming.
And real quick, Scott. And real quick, y'all, before y'all get to these are the last number one picks.
Let's get to this.
Nigga. The last nigga we even knew was Dante Hightower. Chandler Jones asked and went crazy too.
Yeah,
In 2013, they have no pick. In 2014, they drafted Dominique Easley. In 2015, they drafted Malcolm Brown. 2016 and 2017, they had no pick. 2018, they drafted Sony Michel and Isaiah Wynn. Sony Michel is now a family man.
Yeah.
2019, they drafted N'Keal Harry from, and he spent like 3 minutes with the Bears. In 2020, they ain't had no pick. In 2021, they drafted Mac Jones. In 2022, they drafted Cole fucking Strange from Chattanooga with the number one, with their 29th pick. And they drafted Christian Gonzalez, who's a decent ass corner from Oregon, but he fucked up his shoulder.
He got hurt.
Nigga, that nigga can't be the GM of shit no more.
Yeah.
I
only knew two of those names. And the second name I knew wasn't the first pick. So yeah, that's kind of tough. But yeah, man, it is what it is with these niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it, bro.
I thought that was my alarm, but I was like,
oh, that's
mine. We gonna mute him real quick. But my thing right now, man, is niggas, that's smoke. No.
Bro, listen, hey, hold on. I was about to say that shit justified like a motherfucker though.
We gonna move to the 2-minute setup real quick. We gonna let him get his thing together.
Let's do it.
But to me, this whole thing, I know this long thing on Twitter about how I don't like Lamar Jackson, which is bullshit. My whole thing is this. Yes, there was times where these wide receivers were not catching footballs and it looked really, really bad in that game. But at the same time, Lamar can't be doing some of the shit that he was doing. Bang, we all good. Doesn't everything been taken care of? Christ averted?
Yeah, nah, it was my candle.
Okay. You was trying to get real smooth R&B over there.
Nah, hey, man, sometimes you need that aroma to
feel me?
The aroma.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I don't fuck with nothing pumpkin spice, but them pumpkin spice candles.
Whoo. I don't.
Boy,
that
I don't fuck with pumpkin spice nothing, but them pumpkin spice candles. White people been in their white people bag with them motherfuckers, man. White people bag.
Sometimes the white people bag October. You like, I gotta get my Samuel Adams Oktoberfest.
Boy, that's Kirk Cousins. That's Kirk Cousins weather right there.
Yeah. But the thing about Lamar is, I'm not blaming him for yesterday's loss because, nigga, some of them drops by them wide receivers was egregious.
Dropping shit forever, so
forever. But you can't throw that ball to Odell Beckham.
Yeah, he bugged out with that. First of all, Odell is not 6'4", bro. Like, yes, let's be 100. He's not 6'4". Also, he's not the same Odell. I'm gonna tell you what's the tell-all sign he's not the same Odell. When they released the report about his injury, they said Odell exited the game with an apparent injury. They didn't even say what it was. They just said, that nigga hurt.
Yes, this nigga's hurt.
This old nigga hurt, bro. That's all they basically said. Like, that's how it is at work. When you call in to work, they say, yo, that nigga hurt, man. Like, you know what I mean?
The nigga has no lift. As my brother likes to say, he threw a BLT in the end zone. Like, that shit has got to stop. TJ Watt did TJ Watt things at the end, but you can't fumble either. And it kind of feels like they got rid of Greg Roman. They brought in old boy from whatever college. The offense still looks the fucking same. At the end of the day, something's got to give. And I'm not saying this is on Lamar, but they need to have a come to Jesus moment about this. Because I watched that entire shitty game. They showed a lot of it on Red Zone for it to end like that. You got Kenny Pickett, who fucking refuses to throw the ball downfield. Yeah. Just won the game, throw it to George Pickens. It was nasty even for AFC North football levels. Like, did you see Mike Tomlin's face when he walked onto that field? I know he said a couple weeks ago, we don't apologize for this. Nigga, you should apologize for this one. And if you're losing to a team like this isn't just a one-game thing with the Ravens. They've been looking smelly like this all season, and that's just something them niggas got to figure out, man. Let's wrap up this before we go to Monday Night Football. Yeah. And we are officially a quarter into the season. 5 weeks. This last game for week 5, which is crazy already. Who would be you guys' power ranking of 5 teams in the NFL so far? I can go first if anybody wants me to go.
Let's see. because I was looking at this earlier, right? And I want to say, obviously, we talked about this. We all was in agreement that San Fran is number one. So I'm gonna give them number one. Out of respect, I'll give the Eagles number two, right? Because like they are 5-0, so you are who you are what your record says you are. The number two. I would say that honestly, the Dolphins is probably third. They just look like a team that's got certain shit figured out about themselves, not even necessarily about the league. I mean, we'll see how that goes later on we get in the season. So that's my three. After that, I'm gonna say the Bills because that Josh Allen and Steph Diggs connection is something that I'm just not going to bet against. So I'm gonna say that's what 4 right there.
Yeah.
After that, I have to say the Chiefs because they got Pat Mahomes, bro. Like I have to. I owe it to them to say that. So I'm gonna say that's my top 5. I'm very, very confident in the Niners taking it all. Like regardless of who they play, you know what I'm saying, from the AFC. I think that they're probably gonna be my picks if you asking me. I know it's super early, but they just look like a complete team. So I'm cool with being wrong about that if this comes back to bite me later. But that's gonna be my top 5.
Yeah, San Francisco number 1, the Eagles number 2, Miami number 3, the Chiefs number 4, and I'm guessing even though they lost in London, I guess I will want to. Nah, you know what? Nah, because they lost in London and the Pittsburgh Steelers won. So I'm gonna go with the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 5, man.
You want Steelers at number 5?
Number 5 for right now. This list is fluid, fam. This list is fluid, but these niggas lost. These niggas went to London and lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars, even though this was the team that I predicted to go to the Super Bowl. And they didn't look good. They didn't look good until the last quarter and a half.
Oh, you know what's crazy? You are actually right about that because like through the first 2 quarters, I thought that game was just going to be an ass whooping.
Yeah,
and they started looking good. I want to say maybe with 9 or 10 minutes left in the third. Like that was.
Let's be clear about the Jaguars too. If Trevor Lawrence was black, they'd be killing that nigga right now because he low key playing very mid.
You said they would be killing him.
Okay, here we go.
I'm asking, are you accusing yourself? I mean, come on, man. Let's be real.
I'm killing nigga now.
I had to go listen. Real shit. I had when Scott shitted on Josh Allen so much, I googled Josh Allen to make sure one of his parents wasn't black. I had to make sure because I was like, yo, Scott don't play that shit about them. You know what I mean?
But no, man, they got the best. To me, man, it's not even a debate, man. The best coach in the NFL is Mike Tomlin. Ain't no way in hell they should be leading that division, fam.
Yeah.
No way in hell.
Look at all his teams and understand he never had a losing record.
Yeah,
look at those teams.
So because of that, and then plus damn near everybody in Buffalo got hurt on the defensive side. So it's gonna be very interesting how this defensive side of the ball looks. So for right now, I'll put the Pittsburgh Steelers at 5, mainly because more with less and the greatest coach in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I'll give you that because Mike Tomlin, so I'm with you in that. So I respect that.
The only top 5 list that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going on, the top 5 niggas I'm not watching the rest of the season. That's what list they going on. Number 1 is the San Francisco 49. I think we're all in agreement with the first 2. Mm-hmm. Number 2 is the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 3, man, I'm still going with the Chiefs, man. I'm rolling with 15. I'm giving Pat the same love I've been giving Brady. I don't give a fuck about stats, none of that other shit. Mm-hmm. They went out there, they look like, they could have lost to the Vikings. Yeah. They won. And at the end of the day, I don't care about, how week by week it goes. They are the champs. And until you knock them niggas out, I'm keeping them in number 3. Number 4, I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins in number 4. These niggas are just the most fun offensive team in football right now. They got a whole bunch of niggas on their team who run like their name is Man. Like all them niggas is fast. You know what I'm saying? All them niggas is fast. All them niggas got man speed.
All them niggas can do 2 backflips off a mattress right now.
Yeah,
they do 2, 3 backflips and like two with the hands and then like 3 nose. Like they can do that. If you was in
what's Buddy name? Who they running back? I don't want to pronounce his last name.
And he hurt too, but Devon Achane or some shit.
I think it's Achane.
Yeah, that nigga was gliding, bro.
Like a Batman video game name. But
he had
My man said it's Tua and the Jesse White Tumblers, fam.
Two in the
That ass,
Jesse
though.
White Templars,
That
exactly.
ass, though.
Like my man's was like when Gus Johnson was like, he's got running from the cop speed. That's what he was looking
I ain't
like
gonna lie,
last
bro.
night, man.
That's kind of crazy, but I understand it. I understand it.
Very crazy. If it was a non-black person who said that, it would definitely be looked at wild.
Yeah, it would have been like, damn, bro. You got one
And
off on that, but damn. At what expense?
number 5. This is the tough one. Number 5. I'm gonna still say Buffalo, man. I'm gonna still say Buffalo. I know
So we all in agreement. So who the top 5 are?
yeah,
So we're all
man,
yeah.
got the Steelers in there, nigga.
It's just
Hey,
about
Buffalo
who.
6. But they lost. They lost this weekend.
I feel you. But
And they lost in the whole ass way.
They lost in the whole ass way. I get you. I'm not mad at that, but nigga,
Yeah.
my eyes almost bled watching that game. And I watch Chicago Bears football willingly.
Yeah.
And that shit made my eyes.
Man, that's how I am
bleed.
about the Giants. So you don't gotta tell me, man. Like, oh man, you even gotta
man.
go there.
Let's preview the Monday night game before we get to our little local hour or local 45 minutes, as we'll call it. Tonight at Allegiant Stadium. I did my Twitter list of top 10 stadiums in the NFL that I have been to, and at Allegiant Stadium clocked in at number 2. And this is proof that niggas on Twitter do not read, because somebody said, "Oh, so what he said, the Cardinal Stadium don't make your list." I'm like, this clearly says stadiums that I've been
to, nigga.
Yeah, so I have not been to where the Cardinals play at. So this will be at Allegiant Stadium. By the way, if y'all want to know my list, number 1 is SoFi Stadium. It's the most gorgeous stadium in football. Number 2, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Them niggas have an amazing media food spread. They gave us red velvet cookies. I will never get over that, how amazing that was. Number 3 is where tonight's game is at, Allegiant Stadium. Number 4 is actually Ford Field in Detroit. And Ford Field has
don't say actually like that, bro. Don't
no,
do that.
because
That's
I don't
my
think
home.
but I think niggas were underrated just because
Yeah.
Detroit Lions play there. Ford Field is a really great field, and they have the best popcorn in football. So I'm gonna put Ford Field number 5. Number 5, this is sacrilegious, but it is what it is. Lambeau Field is number 5. I'm sorry. It's a great place to watch football if you're not in the stands. Let me clarify that. Okay, I was in the press box, so it was nice up there. Number 6, Arrowhead Stadium. Even though nobody who works there knows where the fuck Will Call is at, I will not go on that rant again like I did a couple weeks ago. Number 7, MetLife Stadium. The only problem I have with MetLife, it's literally the worst stadium to get in and out of in all of football. And it's a very corporate vibe. And I feel like I was
pretty New York, New Jersey to me.
If it really New Jersey, I feel like I was invited by Bobby Axelrod. Like, it's very, very corporate. Number 8, Heinz Field. I know they changed the name. I don't give a fuck what they changed it to. That's Heinz Field to me.
Yeah.
Shockingly, Soldier Field is 9. Yes, there is a stadium worse than Soldier Field. Soldier Field is 9. Number 10 is a stadium that I just came from. FedEx Field is a fucking dump on a fucking like, I thought that the DJ was going crazy, and then shout out to Pierce, shout out my homegirl Shakia. They said, we saw on your Twitter that they was going crazy. We couldn't hear them niggas because the speaker was her. So that took away everything. It took forever for me to get to the damn press room. I don't know
what the Landover.
I don't know where the interview room was. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what none of that shit was. So I'm going to put them in my top 10, man. So we're going to get into our Monday Night Football preview tonight, which is at Allegiant Stadium. It will be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Green Bay Packers. Jimmy Garoppolo has been cleared from concussion protocol. He will be playing. Aaron Jones will not be playing for the Green Bay Packers, but Devontae Adams, he had a hamstring, but Devontae will be playing today. As he is coming up on a big milestone for himself too. So, Bang, how you see this game going?
Hey, man, and I kind of joked about when, not in a bad way, when Brett Favre's father had passed away, and that same day he beat the shit out of the Raiders that game through I think it was a long ass pass like Antonio Freeman or Robert Brooks or something that was epic. I ain't saying it's gonna be an ass whooping, but it's gonna be damn near that. This is the game where Devontae Adams gets in trouble on the sidelines, ladies and gentlemen. I
So you think the Packers gonna whoop their ass?
Oh man, the Packers is winning the night, fam. First of all, Jimmy G coming back does not excite me at all, my G, at all. That does. If we look at a game and we like, yo, Jimmy G coming back, oh shit, then we got hella problems, fam. No, I think this is the game where Devontae Adams gets mad at everybody and he ends up being traded before the year is out because I'm about to lose to my former team and the damn quarterback that I used to be with ain't even there.
Yeah.
I'll say Green Bay by 7.
Okay. I kind of want to take Green Bay by more than that. I think it's probably going to be one of those like 28-14 games where like Jordan Love really in the midst of all of this, like, yo, what is Jordan Love? What can he be? What is he right now? Type of shit. I think that this can be one of those games that obviously none of us have the Raiders rated high, but we still looking at performances. You still got to perform when, we expect you to, I guess. So I think it's probably going to be one of them type of games where he probably throw for 3. You know what I'm saying? Like on some, just on a humble, you know what I mean? Hand one off or whatever. And, they probably win like some 28-10, 28-14 type shit. But yeah, I'm taking the Packers. I'm just not. I'm okay with being wrong about the Raiders. I'm not picking the Raiders going into any game more than likely. Like I'm just okay with being wrong about them. If they win, cool. Hats off to them. But I'm taking the Packers like by like 3 scores, 2 or 3 scores minimum.
I'm with y'all as far as who I think is going to win. I'm not going with the blowout thing. I think the Packers do win tonight. But I think this is going to be a close game. And I think it's going to be a close game because I don't think the Packers are that damn good. I don't think Jordan Love is that damn good. This has nothing to do with my hate for the Packers. I just don't think they're that good of a football team. Having said all of that, nigga, the Raiders are fucking worse. Like you said, Jimmy G is shit. They are wasting my man Devontae. Like you said, Devontae definitely might punch a nigga today. This is definitely one of them. Devontae had 3 touchdowns. They lose for like a field goal. And he gonna push more than just a cameraman. This nigga gonna fight a nigga tonight. That's
why I say it's gonna feel like an ass whooping, but it's not. But it's gonna feel like it because Devontae gonna be mad. He gonna throw some shit on the sideline.
You want him to nigga up? Yeah.
He gonna hey Josh McDaniels is gonna be like.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be one of them. He might put Josh McDaniels in a headlock type game. Yeah. Like he's gonna lose it. Josh Jacobs might hold that nigga down while he beating his ass because he's gonna be hot too.
This is the inactive till the trading deadline game. That's what this is. I'm being inactive to the trading deadline.
The Chase Claypool Bowl.
No, this is the Keyshawn Johnson Tampa Bay shit.
Hey, if you was around, I'm so glad you just said that. If you was around at a certain era, then you understand that immediately. Like,
I don't think young niggas understood just how much of a wild nigga Keyshawn was. Like niggas get the phone only rooting for the Lakers on.
But you know why though? Because he got the cleanest fade on TV for like 15 years. Like so, they look at like he had the cleanest fade. Period. You know what I'm saying? So they look at him and they like, all right, there's no way he was.
How many times did Keyshawn want to beat Brad Johnson ass that time he was on, and John Gruden?
Yeah,
and John Gruden. One of my favorite NFL.
He said as much.
Exactly. One of my favorite NFL films clips is when he was yelling. He said, "Shut your ass up! You a fake ass John Randall." I don't even know who he was yelling at, but that's just prime Keyshawn. Yes, Devontae is on Keyshawn alert tonight, 100%. So I'm gonna go with the Packers, but I think this is gonna be a very close. I always tweet on Twitter, stupid finish alert. I am pressing the stupid finish alert on this game right now, but I think they will win by a field goal, and I think the Packers will win this one. But that's what I got on that, man. But we're going to enter our local hour real quick. We're gonna call this a local 30 minutes.
Local hour.
Local hour. Sponsored by WNUA, sponsored by Harold's Chicken and Garrett's Popcorn. Shout out to the corn man. Oh, I don't know why I just put that on here. I got like the wrong. This is why I say about live TV, man. I just put the wrong overlay on here. This is not
local hour.
Right. What's called? We waiting for Mari to come back on here, but this is the local hour to talk about Bulls. As soon as Mari comes on here, we're gonna talk about the Bulls. what's called off season. Now preseason has just kicked in. Matter of fact, here's Mark right here. So preseason has just started. The Bulls lost this weekend, which I don't watch preseason basketball. I just want to be very clear about a couple things.
Yeah.
I barely watch preseason football. I only watch for when the starters play of the Bears, and I turn that shit off. We're going to time this conversation so we're not on here talking for 3 hours. So I just want to start with this. I think I've given my opinions what I think the Bulls are gonna do when we had Jason Goff on here 2 weeks ago. Mark, what are you expecting? We used to have a Bulls podcast. What are you expecting from this year's team?
If I'm being real with you, I think best case scenario, if everything goes right, if everybody shows up every single day and average what they're supposed to, best case scenario is like a 7 seed. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not really going into it expecting a lot. And it's also, and obviously it's because other teams have made a lot of moves. You look at the first couple teams in the East, you're looking at Milwaukee, no particular order, Milwaukee, Boston, Philly, Miami, and, whoever else, right? The Bulls are not in that realm. Regardless of who we have talent-wise, I'm not really expecting – I expect fun basketball because we do have dudes that can score, score in creative ways. And, whenever they come down here to Atlanta to play the Hawks, I go to the games and I watch them and I love it every single time, win or lose. Like, I love it. But I'm not really expecting nothing too crazy. Like I said, barring any trade or free agency signing that I'm just not aware of at the moment, best absolute case scenario with everything goes right with everybody is like a 7 seed. So, like, I don't know.
Bang, what you thinking on the beloved?
I don't watch preseason basketball either.
Yeah.
It just seems like though that this team is just gonna be a point guard away from being hella decent. And hella decent is just really like at this point being like 5th or 6th seed. That's really it. Like they didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Like
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Shit. Like I want to be able to say much, but what the fuck did these niggas do?
Niggas signed Damian, aka Javon Carter.
Javon Carter.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. I got to be the Maywood protector here. I just thought about it. And it's funny because I'm the one who be shitting on Maywood on the show.
I just said he looked like Damian. We put that in the group chat.
But we can't be shitting on Maywood, fam. We got somebody from Maywood that's going to be playing. He want to play for the crib. He going to be playing hard for the crib. So let's support Javon Carter. Now, Torrey Craig, though.
Torrey Craig, yeah.
Torrey Craig could be Damian. All right, that motherfucker could be Damian. But no, they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then, you got Vucci Mane talking about, so, this might be, this might be our last chance. No, nigga. That's... Yeah, I mean, what you think?
What, that's right. Last chance at what, my nigga?
Last chance at what? A 6 seed, my nigga? Like, no, this shit.
I think like the most unfortunate thing about this run of Bulls basketball is it wasn't supposed to be this mediocre. Everything flatlined when Lonzo got hurt. That's just the truth of the matter. Like, we can sit up here, blame AK for additions, blame Markel. These are all valid points.
Yeah.
But when your point guard just dies,
yeah,
like and hasn't played basketball, like this team, and I know this is only like a couple months of the basketball. I'm not saying this team would have stayed number 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
They were the number 1 seed. The offense was flowing.
Mm-hmm.
It just looked different with Lonzo out there.
Lonzo, fun team, yeah,
fun team. Lonzo is one of your best defenders, one of your best 3-point shooters. So you take that out, it makes the game more difficult. Not just for the Bulls in general, but for your main 2 scorers. It makes things difficult for DeMar. Makes things difficult for Zach. Vucci got to work harder for his buckets. It makes things difficult for Billy Donovan. But in the day, this is also a self-inflicted problem for the Bulls. It's not like fucking Lonzo Ball just started getting injuries when he got here. This nigga was injured when he was with the fucking Lakers. He was injured when he was with the fucking Pelicans. You should have been prepared for that. Like, look, if we're going to get tampering, we're going to get the tampering laws and things like that and lose the draft pick and things like that. Let's at least have a backup plan for if this nigga gets hurt. So to me, it's as a Bulls fan, I think you said the thing that hit the nail on the head, Mari. Like, just be good enough to where I can watch these niggas on cold ass Wednesday in
Yeah,
March.
yeah,
I want to put a bullet in my head. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, just get it to that point where they're at least a 6 seed, 7 seed. Maybe
yeah.
they can win a play-in game. Like, that's why everybody's like, well, oh, Dame's in our division. That shit don't fucking matter. They're just gonna bust our ass any damn way. If anything, the Dame move
Right.
kind of helps the Bulls because it kind of takes the heat a little bit out of a playoff spot, and maybe that helps the Bulls a little bit from that. If you're looking at a super optimistic position. As far as the addition, like I said, they didn't do anything. Like, yeah, Javon Carter is a good 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
I really like Torrey Craig. I wanted Torrey Craig. Me and Mark wanted Torrey Craig 2 years ago.
Absolutely,
We talked about
we definitely did.
deadline. So I like Torrey Craig, but you still don't have a point guard. I like what Kobe did last year. I think Kobe deserved the money. Shout out to Kobe for getting the money he got. He is not a fucking point guard. That's the issues you're gonna have with this team. You got a couple more 3-point shooters, but they're not a 3-point shooting team. It's 2023. You got to shoot threes. That's still an issue. Is Patrick Williams ever gonna be anything? Like, I've gotten off the Patrick Williams.
Yeah, he only got a to be honest, man. Like, we keep talking about this year in and year out about like this is the year that Patrick Williams is gonna take off, and he had the hand injury, and we understood that, and we gave him grace for that. So that kind of set him back 2 years, really, because it's like 1 year of rehabbing and then 1 year of like the year you were supposed to get with like learning on the court shit. But it's like, okay, now it's shit to get off the pot time for real, because we can't keep, extending you and signing you to this and that and the third and believing in you based off like what your ceiling can be. We need to know what your floor is. I don't even know what Patrick Williams' floor really is. So before we get to talking about what his ceiling is, we don't even know what we're gonna get from him night to night if we're gonna get him night to night. So it's just a tough thing, bro. Yeah, like it's just a tough situation to be in if you're a Bulls fan. But we just gotta see it through. Like, it's really just what it is. So that's why I said my best case scenario, if everything goes right, they're a 7 seed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think because if you look at the East, the first 6 seeds I can name off the top of my head right now. You got obviously Milwaukee, obviously, and this is in no particular order. Obviously Milwaukee, obviously Boston, obviously Philly, obviously New York, obviously Cleveland. And then like I think 6 through 10 is up for grabs, and then you're in the Toronto. You're in the
Atlanta's gonna win some games they're not supposed to win, so you already know.
Ace got a better team. You're in that. They're the same class they was in last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Knicks are better than these niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
and for us to have Zach and DeMar, it doesn't make sense that we have Vooch and Kobe White and these guys and Patrick Williams, and we got all this potential, and we're just bottom feeders. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say what they had 40 wins last year.
37.
You got them 37.
If we had 40 wins last year with that team,
it's not a high take. I think this team is slightly better on paper than last year.
Yeah,
I would say 42, 43. 42, 43. And
I'm curious to see what the odds are on these betting sites. I'm curious to see what they.
Yeah, I want to see that too. It's gonna be a lot of mediocre.
Me right now, like for anybody that's listening, I'm saying this completely not knowing what the best makers and the odds makers is saying about us going into the season. I'm saying 37 wins because if we won 40 last season, I don't think we got better, and not getting better in the NBA means you got worse. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean you stayed the same. It means you got worse because everybody else got better. Celtics added Drew Holiday. The Milwaukee Bucks added Dame. Like, what are we doing? So I'm going to say 37. And I'm going to check actually now, matter of fact. I need to see.
Man, what you got, man? What win total? And we can wrap this up.
Man, this is actually the most difficult prediction that I've had in basketball in quite some time. Because I really don't know what this team gonna give you, man. It's to the point. I even give a deeper prediction. Zach will not be with the team after the All-Star break.
I don't think that's a hot take.
I don't think it's a hot take either. That's what's so crazy about this shit. Like, I don't think so. That's why I'm leaving it at that. I don't think Zach could be with the team after the All-Star break. I think that the Bulls are positioned to not tank, but look semi-decent until the All-Star game, and that's when you're going to see the fire sale, and this team is going to look totally different. The problem is that you should have did this last year instead of this year.
Yep.
Because quite honestly, don't none of us really know or give a fuck who's in lottery next season or the year after that.
Yeah.
Probably saying right now, unless you're really deep into basketball, especially college basketball, we have officially reached the era where you like, I don't know who these motherfuckers gonna draft. I just hope they grab somebody decent.
Real shit. No, that's real. That's
every
real.
nigga ain't heard that before.
That's real.
Yeah. Like, oh, that nigga the number one pick? Like, oh.
Let me look him up on YouTube right now then, because I don't know nothing about this nigga. Yeah.
Some nigga from overtime is gonna be the number one pick in the goddamn draft.
Yeah.
See what Chicago sports has done. This is what it has done, man. But that's all we got on the Bulls. So Mariano, man, we appreciate you for joining us, bro.
Man, listen, I appreciate y'all for having me. Like I said, my man JR Bang, every time Scott retweets your content, dog, like I fuck with it, you know what I mean, 100%.
Appreciate
so
that.
You already know what it is, man. I want to, moving forward, I want to power with you again. You know what I'm saying? Like this was fun, 100%. We gotta make it happen. Other than that, dog, y'all already know, man. All for the love. Episode 23 will be out soon. You know what I'm saying? I'll do that. Doing that every week. And Scott, y'all already know what time it is, man. Like we've been down, we've been fucking with the Barbershop Network for fucking for years, bro. Like y'all already know. You know what I'm saying? Like forever, since day one. Like I was one of the original niggas that got the text that said, "Hey, we about to start this shit up," and then it started up, and it's like, this is everything it was promised to be. You know what I mean? Unlike Game of Thrones, you know what I mean? This was everything that was promised to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, and you're gonna be doing a lot of basketball content for us this season, man. So
Scott.
Well,
hey Scott, this is more for probably summer sessions.
Okay.
But I definitely want to get. I want to be prepared. I'm gonna send you this link, fam. I really want your thoughts. This is.
I already know this is gonna be some wild shit.
This is the Hollywood Reporters. The Hollywood Reporters critics pick the 50 best TV shows of the 21st century so far.
Oh,
I know some bullshit on him.
Go immediately. Go to number one.
Yeah, I want to see what the fuck is number one.
No, I'm not going. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it because I already know it's an epic rant coming by.
And guess what, Scott? When he sent it to you, send it to me because I need to see.
I already feel an epic rant coming on when he sees number one.
Yeah, let me know about that, man. But in the meantime, between time, man, listen. Shout out to the Barbershop Network. Shout out to everything y'all got going on. You already know what time it is, man. Anytime. Listen, like we talked about earlier, as adults with shit going on, we don't have free time, man. We make time for shit. You know what I'm saying? And I always make time for anything barbershop related because it's family. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is, man.
I'm looking at. Hold on. Get the fuck. Okay, yeah, we
see. Look, there we go. Look. This, yep.
Okay, yeah, we talking about that shit tomorrow.
Yep.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Mario, let them know they can follow you out on Twitter, man, and everything.
Yeah, man. On Twitter, you know what I mean, at Mariano, 2 N's, 2 O's. Like I tell your aunt when she asked me for money, you know what I'm saying. On Instagram at Mariano Bibbins, you know what I mean. Tune in. I hate saying tap in. I feel victim to it a lot. Tap in is scammer talk.
Tap in is definitely scammer
talk. Tap in is scammer talk, you know what I mean? But tune into the show, tune in to me on social media. You know what I'm saying? We out here, man. You know what I mean?
Definitely, bro. We gonna holler at you.
My niggas. All right, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So we gonna wrap this up with the next like 15, 20 minutes. We gonna get a little Bears talking here. Y'all know how I feel about that game. I talked about it on 79th and Hallis. My experience being there, what I felt about the game. Bang, what was your experience watching the game? How you feel about this win, Justin's performance, and really just the team going forward?
Of course, I had no hope about the game at all, especially on a Thursday. And I think that's the biggest part of why I didn't have no hope. It was a Thursday game. You're coming off a game that you should have won. So the hangover for that Thursday game, and it's a road game. So that hangover is a little bit different, when it comes to this. But I was pleasantly surprised. Justin looked real good. Justin, I don't want to say he looked like he hit his stride. I want to wait to 3 games. I want to wait till after this Atlanta game, and this Atlanta game is the game because he's at the crib. Technically, like he's at the
you
crib.
mean the Vikings game?
Excuse me, the Vikings game. Yeah. I want to wait till we get to around that game because the Vikings game is a division game, and I don't trust that game because it's a division game. But if he does decent, I think it's the Raiders after that.
Yeah, it's the next.
Then it's Atlanta, right?
We don't play Atlanta until Christmas Eve.
Oh shit! I got my dates all messed up.
And it's not in Atlanta. It's a Soldier Field.
Oh shit!
We went to Atlanta last year. So the next 5 games, are very winnable. So we got Vikings at the crib. You got the Raiders
at the crib. Game.
Oh,
that's what it is. That's what it was. My bad. It's the Raiders. Shouts out to my man, my big homie Griff. It's the Raiders game. Excuse me.
Raiders at the crib.
Because the Vikings game is a division game.
Yeah.
So those can go either way, and it's not like we looking good.
I mean, neither are they. We got the same record.
Same record. But the Raiders game is a non-division game, and if you really look at the Raiders and the Bears, I think they've beaten us like the last 3 or 4 times they've played.
No, we beat them last time they played.
I thought last game we played.
No, last game we played was 2 years ago. It was at Allegiant. That was first. Justin threw his first career touchdown. I was there. That was my first game. First Bears game I ever covered. It was in Allegiant Stadium.
I forgot about that game. It was the game that them motherfuckers should have won, and they lost is the one that I remember. But no matter what, it's a game where it's a non-divisional game. It's somebody in the AFC West. And those games, whether it's home or away, is the games that could get away from you because you don't see them often. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. We don't see the Redskins often. We see Minnesota often. But that's still a winnable game. If we could come off with at least from this stretch right here, 2-2, it looks different. The team looks different. But there's a good chance that we could
Sunday night game here in SoFi, which I will be at against Jay Herbo and them Chargers.
Which is to me a shootout game. That is a shootout game. Just even this 5-game stretch though, I feel good, but back to the Commanders game, I was shocked. I was a little nervous though when the Commanders started coming back. Of course, we all was. We was all in the text group like, here we go again with these niggas. But I think what the Bears did differently is they put the foot on the Commanders' necks. Now, the run game is going to be a little bit different here with Devontae Foreman taking the lead.
And Roschon, because I think Roschon is not. He's not in concussion protocol, so he should be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got knocked out, but he's not in concussion protocol.
Okay, but still, we probably end up seeing a heavy dose of Foreman and just working Johnson in, and then you got Evans, who was formerly the practice squad of the Miami Dolphins, but the Bears drafted him, I think, in the 6th or 7th round, so he know the program. Yeah. So when I look at the Bears, let's just see what happens. I'm taking it one game at a time. That's at the end of the day, though, and that's the only way you could do it. I'm not getting overly excited about what I saw, even though this was this was a Commanders team that has looked pretty decent the first couple of games of the season.
They put 31 up on Philly.
Right. And then they did it at home. Yeah. So I don't want to get too far into being geeked or whatever, but knowing that these next couple of games are winnable, if they could just win 3 of this 5, I feel better about the season. I feel better about Justin.
Yeah. I think like you said, I'm taking it one game at a time too, but if you look at big picture, this next 5-6 game stretch to me is the season. You got, like I said, Minnesota at the crib. It's a division game. Anything can happen. We played them close both games. We played them last year. Even the second game when they played their starters and the Bears were intentionally trying to lose that fucking game, they still played them hard. Then you got the Raiders. I said that's a game that can get away from you because Raiders are not a good team. So you got the Raiders going on after that. And you got the big game against SoFi against the Chargers. Then you go to New Orleans to play the Saints. Saints offense is not that good, but that defense is still very good. They still bring problems in the loud Superdome. On a short week, you host the Carolina Panthers. So that little stretch right there is going to tell me something before you go to Detroit and get your head knocked off. That to me is where it's gonna show me this. But I think the best thing you can do if you're a Bears fan is to take this one step, one game at a time. I think doing anything more than that is putting you in Bears fan trap mode, where it's like you're getting too excited. Yes, we should have been excited on Thursday. It was a big win. We ain't won in almost a fucking calendar year. I was excited. Everybody was excited, but more than anything, even more than even the wins and the losses, because I'm looking at the offense. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at Justin. I think Justin's looking at Justin. The last two games was a really good blueprint of how you want him to look, how you want this offense to look. But now here comes the challenge. Now the teams know that, okay, DJ is really how you get your offense going. They're going to try to eliminate him. And that's why I need to see more from Darnell Mooney, who I've been disappointed with these last couple of weeks. There was a couple passes that Justin threw to him on Thursday that were very gettable balls. He didn't get them. You're going to need Moon to step up. You're going to need Cole Kmet to be running the right routes and to stop moving as slow as fucking molasses. You're going to need to involve Robert Tonyan more. You know what I'm saying? This is where you're going to miss Khalil Herbert, because he's a pass catching running back. So they're gonna have to take the things they've done the last 2 weeks offensively and double down on that. And I feel like if they do that, they'll put themselves in a position to win. I'm also interested to see how the defense is gonna play. Eberflus said they're looking for a defensive, like a specialist assistant or something, like what's called a veteran to help them, because he's gonna be the DC for the rest of the year. And then you get Jalen Johnson is going to be playing on Sunday. Kyler Gordon just got activated off IR. We're going to see if Bojack practices this week. That will change a lot. I feel like this team needed this win for motivation reason. And I think a lot of people, we can sit up here, we can talk about the draft, we can talk about Caleb Williams, whatever. I'm not thinking about the Bears draft pick, at least. Of course, I'm thinking about Carolina. Carolina is going to be – I don't think there's going to be a team worse than Carolina this year. I think Carolina is going to have the number one draft pick, which means the Bears are going to have the number one draft pick. At the absolute most, I think they win one game. If you look at their schedule is brutal. But as far as the Bears, there's still so much more football to be played where you can put yourself in a position to turn this season around. But they have to take it one game at a time. And this is where the Denver loss really, really hurts, because you really, really needed to hold on to that. They'd be on a 2-game win streak going against a division opponent right now. So I just want to take it one game at a time. I like how Justin's looked, but I want to keep this up. I want the team to keep this up and give us something to watch. We still got 2 more months of this damn regular season, man. Let's 3 more months, actually. 3 more months of this damn regular season. Let's get something going, man. But I do think they did a lot of positive things on Thursday, and it's just really up to the Bears and this coaching staff and Justin to keep this thing rolling. So I think that's the number one thing to look at. What did you think about the Chase Claypool deal that happened a couple days ago?
Very unfortunate, because I think that Chase Claypool is very talented, but I don't think he realized how talented he is. I had reshared in my stories on the old school version of I Am Athlete, to where he was saying that he's a top 3 wide receiver, and even then we all laughed at that shit, like for real. But the thing is, he has the talent to be that. But I also think he's letting shit get in his way, and he's being the diva that he ain't even earned the stripes to be that yet. And as y'all have all said, when Mike Tomlin gets rid of you, that's a problem. So getting something out of the Miami Dolphins is good enough for me. It's unfortunate that we gave away what ended up being the 32nd player in the NFL draft, which was Joey
Porter Jr.
Yeah, and the thing is I don't think the Bears expected to get Chase Claypool and be Huff, enough to get that pick. And like I said last week, I think we were all excited when we got Chase Claypool, but we was more excited at the fact that we thought we was giving away the Ravens pick instead of our pick. Yep. And I think if it was the Ravens pick we gave away, we feel a lot better about this trade. With that being said, I hope the man does well in Miami. I ain't gonna shit on the man. I hope he does well. He joins a fast ass team, basically, fam. As you said, a whole bunch of man-mans, all right? There's man over there. That's Cortez. That's because Cortez is a fast nigga name out west too, and a whole bunch of other players, fam. Like it's really looking a lot like Christmas on that squad. I don't know where he fits, because you got Jalen Waddle over there. You got of course Tyreek Hill. You got a couple other fast ass niggas, but shit, I hope it works out for him. And with the Bears, I mean, unfortunately, it's a pick that we ain't gonna really give a fuck about until the
It's
draft gets here.
another L for Ryan Poles, man. The only thing Ryan Poles has this in his bag right now is the fleecing of the Carolina Panthers. By the way, them niggas hustle backwards. I mean, you do all that to trade up to get the number one pick to get Bryce Young, and then you traded your number one receiver who could have helped Bryce Young. And then now Bryce Young has no wide receiver. They're going to be Huff again, and now you do not own your first round pick. I mean, and then on top of that, you see what Christian McCaffrey's doing in San Francisco. They gave that nigga up for peanuts. You know what I'm saying? So it's just an investigation needs to be had to what's going on in Carolina, man. But I am thankful for that. I'm looking forward to being in Detroit in April. We're going to cash that money in the bank.
You said Carolina trying to move to another market, fam?
They do. I don't know what they're doing, but it's a lot of Elon Musk moves going on over there.
What market needs a football team, fam? Just they're trying to move the St. Louis Panthers.
The St. Louis Panthers, some nigga move them niggas to Oakland, some.
Because I have no clue. That is true. I have no clue why they trade. And this is not just because he's looked good in his first couple of games as a Bear. But I was a DJ Moore fan even before that.
DJ Moore been that guy.
Right, so when the Bears got him in the trade, I was like, yo, so wait a minute. We got their pick and him?
Yeah, that's what I was telling Pat when we was at the game. Pat was like, oh, man, this dude just getting on. I'm like, no, this is who he is, nigga. Like, there's been countless times the DJ did some shit like this last year. Now, obviously not like 230 yards, but DJ's had monster games many times with bum-ass quarterbacks. This is who he is. He's a number one wide receiver. And they gave that up. Granted, I know they wanted to get their quarterback. They gave that up and gave their number one draft pick a shit O-line and Adam Thielen. Or the wide receiver formerly known as Adam Thielen is what they gave him. Because that's not the Adam Thielen used to be busting the Bears' ass for sure. So that's the only win I give Ryan Poles right now. Great trade, but everything else is looking kind of shaky, man. So I believe him. I believe Flus. As much as we keep talking about Poles, it's not his guy. Nigga, Poles need Justin to hoop. Because if Justin don't hoop, I don't care if it's his guy or not. You ain't made the proper moves to save your job at the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? So a lot riding on the Bears. But if you're a Bears fan, man, be happy at the win. Take this shit one game at a time, man, because if not, you're going to be doing too much because this is the Chicago Bears. Let's not get too high on our own supply. So that is all we got today, man. 2 hours on the dot. Want to give a shout out to Mariano for joining us, man. Definitely, once again, shout out to Bang. Courtney, Dante, Mikey will all be back on Friday, and we got a very special guest on Friday. I'm looking forward to announcing that. A friend of the program will be back on.
We actually gave you a sneak. If you actually notice, we actually gave you a hint.
A hint, yeah, we did.
It was a hint. It was a hint that was thrown.
That was a hint. That was a hint in this episode.
I didn't even realize it was a hint until you said it again. I was like, oh shit.
We low key hinted it. Go back and see if you can find the hint. Like, where's Waldo? But we have a very special guest, a friend of the program, as I like to call. This person has been on this show multiple times. This will be this person's third appearance on this show. So they are a real friend of the program. Shout out to another friend of the program, Taylor Rooks, for linking up with me this past couple days ago in DC. Definitely cool people, man. Definitely got to give a shout out to, because sometimes, you see people on TV or they do certain stuff and you meet them and they're like, oh, this motherfucker's an asshole. Like, no, Taylor's great people. So shout out to her. Shout out to my man Kev. Shout out to everybody over there at Amazon Thursday Night Football, man. So that's all we got for y'all. You know to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Barberchair Scott. You know to follow Bang at JR Bang. We got a new some dude coming up. I know Mike's probably sick about his Cowboys.
Yeah, we got a new one. We're going to be recording that tomorrow. Mike gets to talk about his Cowboys and his disgust and everything. And plus, we get to talk about this music, man. We get to talk about how people are upset about mid-projects that they throw out there.
Definitely, man. So we're going to be talking about that on Summer Sessions as well. So we're going to be having Summer Sessions. We'll be dropping
back
on
to back.
Wednesday. Back to back. We're going to be talking about that. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. Bang's trip to Atlanta. Me and Pav's trip to DC. We're gonna do a full Drake album review, which I'm pretty sure the only real super positive comments are gonna be from one Pavy, because he loved. Let me tell you, this nigga actually set an alarm We was in the hotel. This nigga set an alarm to wake up at 6 a.m. to listen to that goddamn album. I shit you not. So we'll be talking about that on Summer Sessions tomorrow. So if you're not a Patreon subscriber, you should subscribe and check that out. So we appreciate everybody who watches and listens to the show. And we'll holler at y'all niggas on Friday, man. We up out of here.
Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna